RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game brought to you by Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance. Johnson's Corner, the most popular corner in Alton. Premier Title, professional service with a personal touch. Chuck West Agency, serving your insurance needs for 47 years. Rolling Hills, the friendliest golf course in the Riverbend. Roberts Motors in Alton and Woodiver. Midwest Motorsports, your fun headquarters in Hartford. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. Century 21 Seneca Edwards, big or small, we sell them all. Altonized Community Credit Union, offering lower rates on loans and higher rates on savings. Eagle Home Improvement, call us today for a free home estimate. Auto Centers Nissan, where you always buy it right. Ralph G. Pasley Custom Homes, working together to build one dream at a time. Baxter's on Broadway in Alton, where great parties begin. And Berger Automotive, where customer service comes first.
Altonized Community Federal Credit Union has been dedicated to offering personalized, reliable service to meet the diversified financial need of each member since 1939. And on average, credit unions provide the best financial offerings with fewer fees, lower rates on loans, and higher rates on savings. Stop in today and learn about all the benefits of being a member of Altonized Community Federal Credit Union. And with only months left until Christmas, be sure to ask about their holiday loan special. Auto Centers Nissan, the largest.
Making their way to the field at the east end of the stadium are the Auburn Trojans. Our officials for tonight's game, the referee is Jason Gray, crew chief. The umpire is Mike Marshall. The head linesman, Jim Horsey. The line judge, Greg Brown. And the back judge, Jason Hunverzot. To help ensure the safest and most comfortable atmosphere, the host event staff has diligently maintained established security procedures and activities. This will require complete cooperation by all competing teams, contest officials, and fans. Security will always have priority over convenience. Therefore, you are requested to cooperate with event personnel in any manner. Please do so promptly. Your assistance will enable event staff to fulfill its responsibilities efficiently. The possession, distribution, and consumption of alcoholic beverages and other illegal substances are prohibited at the site and on any affiliated property of the IHSA State Series contest. State Series hosts are required to make all State Series contest sites and any affiliated property, including parking lots, fan accommodation areas, and other school or event venue property, alcohol-free zone on the date or date of any IHSA event being held at the site. The event staff will enforce this policy rigorously.
Here they come, here they come, here they come.
Here come our Marquette Explorers. Auburn Trojans will be receiving tonight's opening kickoff. Here is their starting lineup on offense.
They've already had the flip of the coin. They tossed it about 25 minutes ago. And the Explorers won the toss of the coin. They deferred their choice until the start of the second half. So Auburn will take the football to get this football game underway. The Explorers, of course, at 6-3 on a 2-game losing streak. And that's not something you like to have going into the playoffs, but I think it's a little bit odd from the standpoint that despite the fact that Marquette lost by a touchdown 2 weeks ago here to Carlinville in the conference championship game, and despite the fact that they lost by a touchdown last week at Hillsboro, the Explorers may have played some of their best football of the season over the last 2 weeks. They played very, very well in both of those ball games, despite coming out on the short end. And I talked to Coach Reinhardt about that after the game last week, and I think he was in agreement that, hey, we really have played well, and while we haven't gotten the results that we've wanted, we want to put the emphasis on the things that we're doing right and continue to build on that. And that's somewhat of a challenge, I think, when you've got young kids like this who look at the final score and say, well, we failed, when in fact the team is actually developing as the season goes along.
Well, the Explorers had to get over the loss of their outstanding running back.
Jared Zerwas was injured here 2 weeks ago.
And the thing is, they sucked it up. They just didn't suck up enough against Carlinville and Hillsboro. I would think, this is my opinion, that if Zerwas had been there, they would have won both ball games.
Well, Zerwas broke his collarbone in that game against Carlinville. You might remember, or maybe you don't, but I certainly do, a diving catch he made as a pass receiver. He made the reception and then broke his collarbone going to the turf. He just laid himself out there and took no regard whatsoever to life or limb, and in fact did break the collarbone on that play, so they didn't have him last week. And really, that game last week against Hillsboro was a weird one. Marquette just absolutely controlled the football game for the first half with touchdown drives of 90, 80, and 41 yards. They had 4 possessions, 3 touchdown drives. The 4th possession, they took a knee on one play to kill the half. And yet, Hillsboro got some big plays and kept themselves in the football game, and then kind of turned the tables on Marquette in the second half. But I guarantee you that here tonight, Coach Reinhardt and the Explorer coaching staff would be thrilled to see them put together those same kinds of drives, long, grind them out drives that eat up a lot of the clock and result in touchdowns. There's really, any coach would take that over almost anything else.
Oh yeah, a long drive eats up that clock, and the longer you can control the clock, the better chance you have of winning.
So the both teams being introduced to the crowd here tonight. A good crowd on hand from Auburn. Not that long a drive, about an hour up in the Springfield area. And a good gathering on the far side of the field by the Auburn faithful. Auburn dressing an awfully large number of players, and they're very, very young. And I got to say, they got really sharp-looking uniforms. White jerseys, white pants with blue trims, blue helmets. And the Explorers in their blue jerseys with white numbers and the ugly black pants. But, you know, that's just my opinion. And I know it's your opinion, too. But nonetheless, look, hey, I don't think we wore the black pants in the first game of the season, so we're 5-3 in the black pants. And as long as you win more than you lose in them, then you may as well wear them. You know, the Rams have tried every different combination.
It hasn't worked for them.
They've tried white on white, white on blue, white on gold, and
blue on blue.
Yeah, and none of it has worked. So we are about set for the opening kickoff. Auburn will receive the opening kick. The Explorers gathered around head coach Rick Reinhardt. Of course, Coach Reinhardt's first season at Marquette ends in a winning regular season at 6-3. And a playoff appearance. Of course, he led the Civic Memorial Eagles to many playoff appearances over the years. So the playoffs, nothing new for Coach Rick Reinhardt, nothing new for this proud Explorer program, and nothing new for Auburn. As we said, their 11th straight playoff appearance. And they made the trip to Alton here tonight. Zach Keenan teeing the ball at his own 40-yard line. The Explorers will defend the west goal. So here in the first quarter, Marquette will be going from our left to our right. Back deep to receive for Auburn. Three backs. And there's the run up and the kick. It will be returned by the middleman. That's Josh Sargent. Sargent up the middle, up the right sideline. Has a big hole, one man to beat. Keenan can't tackle him, and he may go all the way, being pursued from behind. And it's going to be a touchdown on the opening kickoff for the Auburn Trojans. 91 yards on the return. And a touchdown on the opening kickoff by the return man, number 83, Josh Sargent. And, of course, the Auburn faithful going wild on the far sideline. The Explorer fans sitting here in stunned silence.
Well, that looks familiar from the Carlinville game. It really does.
So now, Auburn setting up for the extra point attempt. And the attempt will be made by Joey Johnson out of the hold of Michael Bates. So the Auburn offense does not see the field as they return the opening kickoff right up the sideline. And that kick is blocked. It is blocked. And for the Explorers, let's see who the number is. The blocked, I believe it was Cody Van Dorn. It was. So, 11:43 remaining in the first quarter. Auburn 6, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Auto Centers Nissan, the largest Nissan dealer in Southern Illinois, is moving to a new state-of-the-art facility located near 255 in Wood River. This new facility at 1825 East Edwardsville Road will give us the ability to serve you even better. Along with award-winning service, we have huge selection, over 300 vehicles, including hard-to-find, high-line, and specialty cars. Come in and visit us today or check us out online at www.autocentersnissan.com, where you always buy it right. Josh Sargent returned the opening kickoff, 91 yards for a touchdown for the Auburn Trojans. Cody Van Dorn blocked the extra point attempt, 6-0 Auburn, as they prepare to kick it away to the Explorers here, and Marquette would like to answer. I'm trying to remember, there were a number of years back, there was a season opening game here. It might have been against Dunlap, where I think there were 3 touchdowns in the first minute 15. Both teams returned their first kickoffs for touchdowns, and then somebody scored again right after that. And maybe we need to hope for that right here. See if the Explorers can run it back. Here's Johnson with a kick. It's a high, short kick. It'll be returned by one of the up men for the Explorers. That's Larry Newquist. Right up the middle he goes with a nice return. Newquist takes it all the way out to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line, and Marquette will start with good field position, trailing 6-0. Max Vest, the senior quarterback, a one-year starter at quarterback, and he's done a fine job with this Explorer offense. And he brings the team to the line of scrimmage. They send Drew Schwartz wide to the right side. A double wing formation with Newquist as the lone setback. And they put a man in motion to the left side, and they run the option to the left side, and Vest tries to cut it up inside, and he is horse-collared and brought down for a loss all the way back at the 39-yard line, a loss of 3.
Well, that defensive end over there on the right side just got him right, as you mentioned, Sam, by the collar and just threw him into the turf.
So now 2nd and 13 for the Explorers from their own 39. This time they send Schwartz wide to the right side, another receiver wide left. That's Zach Keenan. A double wing formation. They put a man in motion to the right side and give it to Newquist right up the gut. Newquist crosses the 40 and takes it out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 4, but it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Explorers.
Well, this has put the Explorers into a passing situation, something I don't think that Coach Reinhardt wants to do, but he's going to have to do something here.
Now, Drew Schwartz checks out of the ball game, and checking in is Bryce Smith, who comes wide to the right side. Jake Harris in a slot to the right. They put Vest in the shotgun with Newquist standing beside him. Travis Jones wide left, and now the left end for Marquette jumps ahead of the count, and that'll be a 5-yard walk-off for the Explorers. Well, that was just a lack of concentration, and that was Tom Hentrick who jumped over there. They put Jake Harrison in motion to the left side, and as he started in motion, then Hentrick jumped. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 14 for the Explorers from their own 38-yard line. And quite frankly, the main thing you got to watch for here, you don't want to make a mistake and commit a turnover. Punting wouldn't be the worst thing. Now here is Vest following his lead back across the 40 to the 42-yard line. That was a quarterback run all the way. He just followed Newquist into the hole and took it out to the 42, a gain of 4, and now Max Vest is down and injured. And slow in getting up, but now he gets up and walks off under his own power. So
he's a tough nut. I didn't expect him to. I did expect him to jump up.
And it looks like he might have taken a hit on
one of his
wrist, and it might be his right wrist, as that right arm is kind of dangling as he walks over here to the near sideline. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if he returns on defense later on, again on offense. So now Corey Marin stands back at his own 30-yard line in punt formation for the Explorers, and the snap is over his head. He goes back and covers it at the 16-yard line. That snap was about 10 feet over his head. He had no chance whatsoever to bring it down, and all he could do was go back and cover it. They'll put the football down at the 15-yard line, and the Auburn Trojans, leading 6-0 already, will start 1st and 10 deep in Explorer territory. So things not going well for the Explorers here early on. And now you just got to hope that they don't compound things. What you need here is a stop out of your defense. The backs in the I formation behind the freshman quarterback Michael Bates, who turns and gives it to the first man through. That's Dambacher. And he takes it down to the 11-yard line as he tried to bounce it outside of the left side after the initial hole closed up. James Dambacher picks up 4 on that carry. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy, but he runs straight up and down. And I don't think his speed's that good.
Which presents a big target. 2nd and 6 for the Trojans at the Marquette 11. Now the give to the tailback, Howard, and he finds running room down the left sideline, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown run by Ryan Howard. And we played less than 3 minutes here in this Class 2A playoff game, and already Auburn has a 2-touchdown lead. Ryan Howard, the 11-yard touchdown run. So the Explorers give up the 91-yard kickoff return on the opening kickoff. Then, in essence, commit a turnover as they snap the ball over the punter's head. And on a short field, Auburn puts together a 15-yard touchdown drive on just 2 plays. And now Joey Johnson, out of the hold of Michael Bates, will attempt to add the extra point. The first extra point was blocked. They line it up to snap this, and now they'll go for 2. And they throw it into the end zone, and Bates overthrows his intended receiver at the back of the end zone. That was Sargent. And the 2-point conversion attempt fails. 9:05 remaining in the first quarter. It's Auburn 12, Marquette nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
There's no better place to get ready for Halloween than Baxter's. Need a costume for Halloween? Baxter's has a huge selection of costumes for rent. Having a Halloween party? Baxter's has aisles and aisles of spooky decorations, plus lots of fun and creepy toys for your trick-or-treaters. Pirates and princesses are big this year, but Baxter's can help you create your very own theme party with their 60-plus years of ideas. Make one stop to the place where great parties begin. Baxter's in Alton on Broadway. Baxter's business is fun.
Berger Automotive is ranked number 1 for fixing cars right the first time and number 1 for customer satisfaction. Berger Automotive can work on all models of vehicles and is your full-service car specialist for oil changes, major mechanical, body work, collision repairs, and tires. Loaner cars are available. Berger by the Bridge is better.
Honesty and integrity, that's Berger Automotive. Berger Automotive.
Joey Johnson kicking off for Auburn, and he kicks it out of bounds here on the near sideline. It goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and the Explorers will get good field position here as they'll put the football down at the 35-yard line. And the Explorers will start right there. Marquette went 3 and out on its first possession, and then to compound things, snapped the football over the head of the punter to give Auburn that short field. Now, the main thing here, I think, is that if you can right the ship, down 12-0, you can get back in it, but you can't let anything else go wrong. So let's see if the Explorers can mount some offense. A wing to the right, split backs, and here is the give to Travis Jones on the single lead to the right side, and he squirts through out to the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 on that carry for Jones. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Jones is the freshman running back, and he's some speed. He really does.
2nd down and 6 for the Explorers from their own 39, trailing 12-0. It's very early, 8:40 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Marquette sends Keenan wide to the left side, Jones a slot to the left, a wing to the left, and Vest in the shotgun, and they run the option to the left side, and Vest turns it upfield, has first down yardage as he crosses the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. A gain of 8 on that carry, and the first down of the night for the Explorers.
This one on the option left. He had the option to pitch the ball back to a trailing back, but he decided to keep it, and it was a good thing that he did.
It was a good decision. Bryce Smith wide to the right side, Keenan wide left. Now they bring Keenan in and set him up as a tight end. A wing to the right, and here's the give on the lead to, that is Newquist, and Newquist crosses the 45 and pounds his way out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 3, almost 4 on that carry. We'll wait and see where they put it down. They put it down just shy of midfield, and we'll call it a gain of 4 for Newquist on his 2nd carry of the night. So 2nd and 6 for the Explorers from just shy of midfield. Drew Schwartz wide to the right side, Keenan wide left. And again from the shotgun formation, Vest runs the option to the left side, now pitches it back to Newquist, who crosses midfield, still on his feet, and spun out of bounds at the 45 of the Trojans. A gain of 5 on that carry. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Explorers.
That was the oddest looking option I've ever seen.
Well, it appeared that the Auburn defense, well, that was enough for a first down for the Explorers, as actually they gave Newquist a yard more than I thought he had. But a 6-yard pickup and a first down, the 2nd of the night. Now, it appeared that the Auburn defense couldn't make up his mind whether to cover Vest or the trailback, who was Newquist. And finally, they made a move to Vest, and he pitched it at the very last moment, almost a forward pass, but it wasn't. Here's the give to Newquist, right up the middle on the fullback dive, and he takes it down to the 41-yard line, a gain of 3 on that carry. Newquist, 4 carries for 17 yards. Well, this really, I think, is a critical drive for the Explorers. If they can go down and keep this drive alive and put a touchdown on the board, they're right back in this football game. But they surely can't afford to give the ball back to Auburn and have them be the next team to score. Here's the give. Utley now up the middle. Steve Utley, who just checked into the ball game, is going to be close to a first down inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 7 on that carry for Utley on his carry of the night. And a nice job of opening a hole by the Explorer offensive line, and now they'll stop the clock and bring the sticks in to measure.
Utley is a 190-pound sophomore, and I think he's about 5'8".
He's a bowling ball. Once he gets rolling, it's hard to stop him. He saw some playing time early in the season when Newquist was out, and now they stretch the chains out.
Yeah, I mean, I got a shot of that, of them measuring right now. I'm going to take a shot at it.
And it is going to be just inches shy. So 3rd inches for the Explorers. At the 34 of the Auburn Trojans. Auburn leading 12-0. If you just joined us, Auburn returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Then the Explorers went 3 and out. And in punting formation, the ball was snapped over the head of the punter, and Auburn 2 plays later went 15 yards for a touchdown. 3rd and inches, and it's Vest on the quarterback sneak, and he'll have the first down and then some, down to the 32-yard line, a gain of 2 for Max Vest. And the 3rd first down of this drive, the 3rd first down of the night for the Explorers. 1st and 10 at the Auburn 32. The Explorers send Keenan wide to the left side, Travis Jones in the left slot, Drew Schwartz wide right, and Newquist the lone setback behind Vest, who takes the snap and fumbles the football, and Max Vest goes back and covers it back at his 37-yard line. And Vest, I don't think ever had that football. It looked like, I think he pulled out too soon.
No, you're right, Sam. He pulled out too quickly, and the ball came up and hit him on his thumbs.
They'll spot the football at the 36, so it goes as about a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13 for the Explorers. Receivers left and right. Now they run the wing counter to Jake Harrison. Harrison stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but keeps his legs churning, and he'll get 3 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, about the 32-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Explorers. Harrison was about a step away from turning that into a big gain, but the hole was there, but before he could get through it, it closed up. So 3rd and 11 for the Explorers at the Trojan 33-yard line. They send Drew Schwartz wide to the right side, Keenan wide left, Newquist a slot to the left, Utley the lone setback. Now they put Newquist in motion and back to throw his best. He lets it go deep. Harrison wide open. 10, 5, touchdown! A 33-yard touchdown pass from Max Vest to Jake Harrison, and the Explorers are on the board.
Harrison was wide open right down the gut. I don't think the defenders for Auburn even saw him.
Well, it took your breath away because he was so wide open. I was scared to death he was going to drop the football. But he caught it just shy of the 10 and turned around and walked into the end zone. And now Corey Marin's extra point attempt out of the hold of Max Vest. They line it up, the snap, the spot, the kick. The kick is long, but it's wide left. And so
that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Well, that snap appeared to me to be low, and Vest was able to get the football up, but it may have thrown Marin's timing off. 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. The score, Auburn 12, Marquette 6. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
So we'll retire to the mountains.
Oh, but I love the ocean.
There are places you want to get to in life,
Two
like
spots
retirement.
here.
And now your State Farm.
Century 21 Seneca Edwards has been serving the community for over 30 years and prides itself on customer service. If you're in the real estate market, they provide the experience and service you need to make the best decisions. They offer over 50 exceptional agents who are highly trained to help you through the buying and selling process. With offices in Godfrey, Brighton, and Staunton, Century 21 Seneca Edwards is bridging the gap in the real estate industry. Check them out online at c21seehomes.com.
Already visited us, I want to assure you that you'll find us friendly and professional. Our sales staff has 3 responsibilities to every client. 1, to help find the best vehicle for you. 2, be sure it fits in your budget. 3, and most importantly, to do all this in a timely manner. Whether you're looking for a new quality pre-owned vehicle, give us a try. You will not be disappointed. Quality Pontiac, GMC, Cadillac, and now Buick on the Parkway in Alston.
On the kickoff, the Explorers try an onside kick, and Marquette recovers. They recover the football at the Auburn 41-yard line, and Marquette, trailing by 6, has the football back. Well, a daring move, and it paid off. I'm not sure, but I think it might have been Cecil Brimage who came away with the football. Marquette appeared to have it twice, and it looked like they had it once. It got away, and finally I think Cecil Brimage covered it at the Auburn 41-yard line. 1st and 10, Marquette. Max Vest under center. Newquist the lone setback. They run the option to the left side. Vest turns it upfield and has good yardage inside the 40, down to near the 36-yard line. And it looks like a gain of 4 or 5 on that carry for Vest.
That was a well-called play, that onside kick. because I don't think they'd be expecting it at that time of the ball.
Well, I sure wasn't. Were you?
Second down and a long 6 for the Explorers.
And obviously Auburn wasn't. 2nd and 6 for the Explorers at the Auburn 36-yard line. Again, Newquist the lone setback. They give it to Newquist. Oh no, Vest pulled it out, kept it himself, and tried to run option to the right side, and he's thrown for a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Explorers. I wish he would have given it to Newquist. He ran about 10 yards.
He should have.
It's easy to say up here, isn't it? Easy to see up here. So 3rd and 7 for the Explorers, down to 3:57 and counting, remaining here in the first quarter. Auburn has had only one offensive possession, and that came on a short field. They started at their 15, and 2 plays later they were in the end zone. They ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Marquette now with its 3rd offensive possession, 3rd and 7. Invest in the shotgun with Newquist standing beside him. And they run the option to the left side. The pitch back to Newquist through his hands. The ball loose on the turf. Auburn says they have it. Let's see what the officials say. And Auburn does have it. They recover the football at their own 34-yard line.
Now that wasn't such a good call. You're going to run that thing on a big down situation, like 3rd and long right there. You need it to run it to the right side. So that's the good hand of the quarterback, since he is right-handed.
So the Auburn Trojans start 1st and 10 from their own 34. That's the first, officially the first turnover of the ball game. Although the snap over the punter's head, which Marquette covered, was in effect a turnover. Now Dambacher running to his right side, running people over, crosses the 40, takes it out to about the 41-yard line, and that'll be a gain of about 6 on that carry, maybe 7. Oh, he got even more as they spot the football all the way out at the 42-yard line, nearly an 8-yard pickup for Dambacher. And as John Rogers told you earlier, he's not fast, but he's big, and he ran people over on that carry. Now a no huddle, and here's the give to Howard. Howard trying to turn the left corner, and he is hogtied and brought down. Angelo Cross on the tackle, and Ryan Howard, gains only a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Trojans. A good tackle by Cross there. Cross, a sophomore linebacker. And we'll see a lot of him over the next couple of years. The clock ticking with 2:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Auburn leading Marquette 12-6. Now a flag is thrown prior to the snap. And the officials talk it over. I didn't see.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure against Auburn, their first penalty of the night. So the penalties are even at 1 apiece.
You see what they did?
No, I didn't. I wasn't watching.
The linebackers in Marquette just sprinted up there as they did in the Carlinville game and caused them to jump.
And they did it last week against Hillsboro, and it worked twice. They only called it once. One time the official said, I hadn't marked the ball ready for play yet. That was on a 4th and 1.
Home cooking.
Yeah, there was a little home cooking there, but it worked out all right in the end because when they finally ran the 4th and 1 play, the pitch was behind the running back and they lost 5 yards on the play. So now 3rd and 6, and back to pass is Bates. He eludes a tackler, lets the pass go. It's caught, but shy of the first down, and a good tackle on the play by the Explorers. I'm not sure who was that. Cody Van Doren, it might have been. And now it's going to be 4th and 1 for the Hilltop, or for the Trojans. They gained 5 on that completion. Catching the pass was Eric Curve, number 25. And now they go drop into punt formation. That was a dandy tackle by the Explorer defender. I think it was Van Doren, but we'll double check that. Might have been Jake Harrison, 28. Now, the high kick, and it takes a Marquette bounce and is covered by the Trojans at the Marquette 29-yard line. So after the turnover, the Marquette defense forces a 3 and out. And Marquette will start 1st and 10 from their own 29 with 1:10 remaining here in the first quarter, and Auburn leading 12-6. Well, Marquette survived that initial surge by Auburn. And now I think the Explorers are starting to gain some confidence here. And Let's see if they can put another drive together here as the first quarter begins to tick down. Marquette sends Bryce Smith wide right. Spread formation here with a lone setback behind Max Vest, who takes the snap, runs the option, now pitches it, and here's Newquist. Oh, and his feet slip out from underneath him. Then a late flag is thrown. It looked like Newquist found a seam and was about to burst through it. And on this wet field, his foot went out from underneath him, and then a penalty against the Explorers.
I think it's a holding call.
So Newquist got back to the line of scrimmage.
That's frightening, the way that pitch comes. So delayed.
And then the 10-yard walk-off against the Explorers. And so that will negate the play. Yeah, that was a very wide and very late pitch by Vest, but that's the way that play was designed. So now it's 1st and 21 for the Explorers. 1st and 20 from their own 19. Again, a spread formation. Vest under center and tries to follow Newquist up into the hole and finds a little bit of running room. Crosses the 20 and takes it out to the 23, a gain of 4 on that carry for Max Vest. So 2nd and 16 upcoming, down to 33 seconds and counting, remaining in the first quarter. Auburn jumped out to a 12-0 lead. Marquette has cut it to 12-6. Line of scrimmage now. The Explorer just shy of their own 24-yard line. Receiver wide left, split backs behind Vest with a wing to the left side. Vest takes the snap, gives it to Travis Jones, trying to find an opening. He does not. He took it out to the 25 for a gain of a yard. And that's going to bring about 3rd and 15 for the Explorers, but not until we move on to the second quarter. We have played one quarter here at Public School Stadium in Alton. The score, Auburn 12, Marquette 6. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
What do I have to do to sell you a car today?
Roberts Motors, 2 locations, Alton and Wood River.
Thinking about doing some home improvement? The time has never been better than right now thanks to Eagle Home Improvement. We can handle all your remodeling needs, including windows, siding, sunroofs, roofs, decks, and so much more. Right now, save 33% on Eagle Board energy efficient siding. Save 25% on Eagle Series Gold Collection windows. Save 10% on sunroofs and 15% on the project of your choice. We even offer financing for all your remodeling needs. Call Eagle Home Improvement today for a free in-home estimate. 618-259-2500.
On WBGZ Alton, Sam Stem along with John Rogers back at Public School Stadium in Alton. Big blue M painted on the 50-yard stripe. I don't ever remember seeing a big blue M painted out there.
All I remember was a big red bird.
Yeah.
With a gold tooth.
Well, the red bird's gone, and the big blue M is out there. So that red bird, that's the only bird I've ever seen with teeth. But that's just how mean a red bird he is. Now 3rd and let's call it 14 for the Explorers from their own 25-yard line. And back to throw his Vest. Looking down the right side, Schwartz is open, and he makes a diving catch to come up with it. No! The official on the far side said he did not. And it would have been more than enough for a first down, but I don't think it was a particularly well thrown pass by Max Vest. Schwartz was wide open. He was 7-8 yards behind any defender, and the pass was underthrown, and he tried to come back and dive for it.
He had to come back.
Yeah. So a chance there for the Explorers, but they couldn't convert. Now Corey Marin standing back inside his own 15-yard line, and let's just hope he gets a good snap here. Last time they snapped it over his head. It's a perfect snap. And Marin gets the kick away, and it's a short kick that will bounce and take a Marquette hop. And for some reason, Cecil Brimage covered it while it was still hopping towards the Auburn goal line. So they should have let it roll some more. And the Trojans will start 1st and 10 from their own 42. Any idea why he would have covered that?
He's a sophomore.
I think that's the answer. That's the right answer. You are correct. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 42. Auburn leading 12-6. On their last possession, after recovering a Marquette fumble, they went 3 and out. Michael Bates, the quarterback, gives it to Dambacher, and he's brought down as he crosses the 40. Out to the 41. He did not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost about a foot. And part of the reason was that the footing appears to be a little bit treacherous out there. It looked like he slipped as Newquist slipped a little bit earlier. No gain for Dambacher. He was their quarterback early in the season. Now moved to running back. Bates, freshman quarterback, back to throw. The southpaw completes it. Sargent down the left sideline. Sargent inside the 30, inside the 20, and finally caught from behind all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Sargent came out of nowhere. He was wide open, and Bates found him.
A 59-yard completion. Well, they put it at the 11, so let's make it a 58-yard completion. And that Sargent has some speed. He's the one that returned the kickoff earlier. And on that play, he took it 58 yards after catching just a little swing pass. So 1st and 10, Auburn at the Marquette 11-yard line. Bates there's a fumble as Bates tried to hand it to Dambacher, and no mesh there. Bates has to cover it back at the 15, so that'll be a loss of 4. 2nd down and 14 now for the Trojans. Clock rolling with 10:40 remaining in the first half. And again, a critical juncture here. The Marquette defense needs to find a way to get a stop as the Explorers trail by 6. Auburn on 2nd and 11 at the Marquette 15-yard line. Sends Dambacher in motion to the right side. And now somebody on the right side of that line jumped. And the Trojans shooting themselves in the foot here now with a fumble, which they recovered, and a 5-yard penalty. And now it's 2nd and 19 for the Trojans at the Marquette 20-yard line. And a lot of discussion down there between the Auburn players and the referee, and finally their head coach, Dave Bates, comes charging down the sidelines and tells his players, just get to the line of scrimmage and run a play. And they're going no huddle here. Bates drops to throw. The southpaw lets it go out to the left side and overshoots his intended receiver, Colin Bushnell. Bushnell was open out the right flat, but Bates just overlet him by hair. And it'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 19 at the Explorer 20. Trojans again go no huddle, although they've changed personnel, and Bates will operate out of the shotgun with Dambacher standing next to him. Dambacher can throw the football as well. Quick pass out to the right side. This could be a double pass. No, Bushnell's going to run with it. Now flags come in from everywhere, and that's going to be an illegal block, I think, against the Trojans. But the Explorers might want to think about declining it because that play went for a 3-yard loss.
Well, I agree with you, Sam. I think that was a backwards pass, and I was looking for a double pass.
Well, that's what I thought it was going to be, just the way they set it up. So the Explorers do decline the holding penalty. They don't want to give the Trojans another down. That completion lost 3 yards, and now it's 4th and 23 for the Trojans. 4th and 22 at the Explorer. 4th and 23 at the Explorer 24-yard line. And they leave the offense out on the field. They're beyond field goal range.
Well, I don't think they have a very good kicking game either.
And now the Explorers want a timeout as they do not want to take any chances here at letting Auburn off the hook. The clock stopped with 10:02 remaining in the second quarter. Auburn 12, Marquette 6. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
It's time to book a date for your fun. Rogers back at Public School Stadium. Down here on the near sideline, Andre Embry warming up his throwing arm. He is a sophomore quarterback for the Explorers. Max Best injured a wrist. It looked like the wrist on his right hand early in this ball game. And now you begin to wonder a little bit about his health when you've got a sophomore quarterback over here warming up. And so now Auburn facing fourth down, 4th and 23 at the Marquette 24. Now Dambacher lines up at quarterback and takes the snap and pitches it back, and they're going to throw the football, and they throw it into the end zone, and it's batted down by Max Vest. A very intelligent play by Max Vest. It would have been an easy interception, but he knew better. He batted it down, and the Explorers take over on downs on their own 24.
Well, if he had caught it, it would come out to the 20. This way, the Explorers get it on the 24.
And you never know. Sometimes you try to catch it, and you juggle it, and it pops into the arms of the other team. And so a little wrinkle there as they tried an end-around pass. And the Explorers were not fooled, and I think that's why Coach Rick Reinhardt called the timeout just before that play to make sure his team was not fooled by anything. And now here's the give. Newquist right up the middle, dragging tacklers with him. Across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Now a flag goes down at the point of the tackle. And let's see what the call is here. If the play stands, it's a 9-yard gain by Newquist. Let's see if Auburn got a piece of the face mask. It is against Auburn, and a 5-yard walk-off grabbing the face mask. So that gives the Explorers a first down after the 9-yard pickup by Newquist. Well, that's the way you like to see Newquist run, too. Just straight ahead, dragging tacklers with him. 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 38-yard line. And this time they run the option to the left side, and Vest turns it upfield, crosses the 45, and takes it out to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 10, and it looks like another Marquette first down.
Well, what Vest did at that time on the option is to run at that defensive end instead of floating out on a lateral movement and then trying to pitch it. That's what got him in trouble.
They're going to measure here. From where I sit, I thought it looked like a first down. And the referee isn't quite sure, so they'll bring the sticks in. Sometimes I think in a case like this, you're better off being short, because now you've got 2nd and short, you've got a down to play with. But we'll see what happens here as they stretch them out. It is a Marquette first down. See, they should have just listened to me. I could tell from all the way up here.
Your eyes are getting better and better,
You know.
Sam. I can't believe it after all these years.
Well, you don't even guess anymore.
I don't. I can't see.
1st and 10 for the Explorers. 6 first downs on the night for Marquette, just 1 for the Trojans. And yet the Trojans lead 12-6, primarily because they return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Now here's the give. Newquist, big hole up the middle. Oh, and his feet slip out from underneath him as he went to make a cut, but he took it down to the 41 of the Trojans. An 11-yard pickup for Newquist, and it would have been more, but the field is just a bit slick after the rains of the past couple of days. He had really one man to beat. Now we've got a timeout on the field called by the Trojans. 9:22 remaining in the second quarter. Auburn 12, Marquette 6. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. It's time to book a date for your fall banquet and holiday party at Johnson's Corner. The banquet room at Johnson's Corner seats up to 80, and you can choose either a buffet or sit-down meal. Johnson's Corner will also cater to your home party, workplace, employee appreciation party, birthday party, or a holiday party. When Johnson's Corner caters, you can count on prompt personal service, and afterwards, they'll even clean up the food mess. Call for available dates, 465-5640. Johnson's Corner, the most popular corner in Alton.
Midwest Motorsports, one of the largest dealers in the area with over 12,000 square feet of showroom, featuring Yamaha, Suzuki, Polaris, and Sea-Doo. We also have a wide assortment of accessories and apparel, as well as a service department with factory-trained technicians. Midwest Motorsports, just south of Alton in Hartford, Illinois on Route 3, 4 miles north of I-270. Visit our website at MidwestMotorsports.com.
Left and takes it all the way down to the Auburn 35-yard line, a gain of 6, and you say he's going north and south.
Well, with what we got here, I guess it's east and west.
Well, yeah, but in football parlance, it is indeed north and south. 2nd and 4. This time it's Utley on the carry, spins out of a tackle. Utley still on his feet. Utley finds the right sideline. Utley at the 15, 10, 5, and brought down from behind, down at the 4-yard line. What a run by Steve Utley, picks up 31.
Well, he's only 5'8", 190. They don't get a very good shot at him, and that was the case.
Well, he was hit right in the hole and spun off that tackle, and then saw some daylight and got outside to the right side and took it all the way down to the 4. Now Zach Keenan hobbles off the field here to the near sideline, replaced by Cody Van Dorn, but now Bryce Smith checks in, and Van Dorn comes back to the near sideline. 1st and goal for the Explorers at the Auburn 4-yard line. Marquette now with 8 first downs to just 1 for the Trojans. The Explorers trying to tie the game right here. They could take the lead with an extra point, a rare commodity here tonight. Receiver wide to the left side, double wing formation for the Explorers. And here's the give right up the middle. That's Newquist, and he takes it down to the 1-yard line. A gain of 3 on net carry for Newquist. 2nd and goal at the 1. Well, the Explorers fell behind 12-0 almost immediately. Less than 3 minutes into the ball game, they trailed by 12, but they righted the ship, put together a long touchdown drive, have stifled the Auburn offense, and now the Explorers 2nd and goal, trailing by 6. 2nd and goal at the 1. And it's Max Best on the quarterback sneak, and he's in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run by Max Best, and this game is tied at 12. So after Auburn had 1st and 10 at the Marquette 11 and could not score, the Explorer defense held. The Explorers put together a 76-yard touchdown drive. And with 7:53 remaining here in the first quarter, Marquette could take the lead if Corey Marin can convert this extra point attempt. Out of the hold of Max Vest. They line it up. The snap, low snap, the spot down, the kick is up, it's high, it's long, no good. It is no good, wide to the left. So 4 touchdowns here tonight and 4 unsuccessful conversions. And so with 7:53 remaining in the first half, the score, Marquette 12, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
See McDonald's new premium roast iced coffee. It's cool.
Did you know you can choose your own title company for your real estate transactions? Here are comments from people who chose Premier Title and Escrow Company.
Use them on an average 3 or 4 times a month.
We closed at the Premier office in Godfrey at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I was back to work by 2:30.
They understand what I need when I call them, even if I can't express it properly to them.
For your next real estate transaction, choose Premier Title and Escrow Company in Godfrey.
City Credit Union provides friendly and professional service to thousands of area members, and you can join too. Take advantage of competitive rates on certificates, money markets, and IRAs, along with low rates on vehicle loans, first and second mortgages, and lines of credit. Because Olin Credit Union is member-owned, they reinvest in the credit union to offer member services such as web products, including online account access and bill payments. Make Olin Community Credit Union your credit union.
With Dodger Sam Stem back at Public School Stadium in Alton, this game tied at 12. Corey Marin to kick for the Explorers and just floats one about 15 yards downfield. That was not an onside kick, but Marin subbing for Zach Keenan, who normally kicks off. Keenan over here on the near sideline, and he's got a leg injury of some kind, and they're looking at him. They've also been looking at that right hand of Max Vest, and he's still having difficulty with that hand. And I'm not sure if if he can throw the football or not, but he's sure running the offense well otherwise. But now Auburn, which once led 12-0, takes over 1st and 10 from their own 42 with this game tied at 12. And Bates back to throw, lets it go out to the left side. He completes it. That's Sargent trying to cut it back. He breaks one tackle and takes it all the way down to the Marquette 41-yard line. A gain of 18 on that pass from Bates to Sargent.
Well,
Sargent's quick.
Yeah, he is. And the Explorers had better pay attention to Sargent. I don't think they've got quality receivers anyplace else except for the Sargent kid.
Second first down of the night for the Trojans. 1st and 10 at the Marquette 41. Bates turns, hands it to Dambacher. Right up the middle he goes. Breaking tackles inside the 40 down to around the 35-yard line. And that's a gain of about 6, maybe 7 for Dambacher, as he's tough to bring down. We'll call it 6 on the carry. Dambacher 4 carries for 18 yards. And it's 2nd down and 4. Trojans at the Marquette 34-yard line. 7-10 and counting remaining in the first half. This game tied at 12. Trips to the right side. They put Dambacher in motion to the right side, and now whistles and flags prior to the snap. Let's see if Auburn moved or if Marquette lined up in the neutral zone. It's on Auburn. So they hurt themselves earlier when they had that first down just outside the Marquette 10-yard line. They had a fumble and then a penalty. Turned it into eventually a 4th and long. Auburn now 4 penalties for 20 yards. So all 4 have been 5-yard penalties. 2nd down and 9, Trojans at the Marquette 39-yard line. Dambacher in motion to the right side. Trips to the right side. Back to pass Bates. Looking deep down the middle, and that is incomplete as Bates overthrew everybody. And Max Vest back there. Actually, he was in double coverage with Derek Dahm. And Max Vest had the best chance of catching it, but he made a diving attempt. And he's really favoring that right hand. Every time he gets up, he checks that right hand. So now 3rd and 9 Trojans at the Marquette 39-yard line. Bates again in the shotgun with a pair of receivers to each side of the field. Bates drops the throw under some pressure. Now sprints out to his left, lofts it downfield. That is incomplete. A big hit down there by Angelo Cross. The receiver Sargent had it in his hands, and Angelo Cross just laid him out, and Sargent coughed it up incomplete. That's the 2nd time tonight Cross has made a big hit on a pass receiver. And both times they've been important plays. Once it kept Auburn from getting a first down. That time it kept him from getting a first down. So now Max Vest back deep, standing inside his own 10-yard line to return this punt as the Auburn punter stands back at his own 46-yard line awaiting the snap. Low snap. He gets the kick away. Goes down, but that's a great acting, not even a good acting job. It's an acting job, and it wasn't very good. No flag, and the ball is downfield at the Explorer 15. Marquette will take over 1st and 10 right there. That was horrible acting, wasn't it?
I've seen worse get called, though.
Well, you can't blame him for going down. That was Ryan Howard, the punter. And somebody got within about 2 feet of him, and he just hit the deck. And the referee wasn't fooled. 1st and 10 for the Explorers. This game tied at 12. They start at their own 15-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. They put a man in motion to the left side, and here is the give right up the middle. And that's Newquist, or did Vest keep it himself?
I thought Vest kept it.
He did. And Vest took it right up the gut for about 3 yards out to the 18-yard line. Max Vest has been the workhorse here tonight. 11 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. After that, Newquist with 8 carries for 46 yards. 2nd down and 7 for the Explorers from their own 18. Receivers left and right. Now Vest appears to be changing the play. Newquist the lone setback with a pair of wings. And Vest takes a snap and gives it to Newquist, and Newquist is hit immediately and brought down. He lost a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
Well, what Auburn did was to run up an 8-man front, and that's awful difficult to block, especially you're going to run that thing inside tackle.
Now Drew Schwartz checks in, Bryce Smith checks out. And 3rd and 8 for the Explorers from their own 17-yard line. The clock rolling with 5:15 remaining in the first half. This game tied at 12. Double wing formation. Vest under center gives it on the counter to Harrison. It's there. Harrison out across the 25. Harrison first down yardage and then some. Still on his feet. Harrison at midfield. Harrison at the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Marquette. Jake Harrison goes 83 yards on the wing counter, and Marquette has the lead.
Well, Harrison lined to the right side and came back in motion and took an inside handoff from Vest, and there was an exceptional block on the defensive end, and he just turned on the afterburners.
Wow, what a play. And Harrison just kept chugging down that sideline. Marquette has its first lead of the night. And let's see if we can see our first extra point of the night.
It'd be nice.
Corey Marin out of the hold of Max Vest. They line it up. The snap, the spot, the kick. It's up, it's high, it's long, it's gone. A big cheer down here in the near stands. 4:53 remaining in the first half. The score, Marquette 19, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
It begins with a dream. It takes a steady hand and teamwork, and it ends in a dream come true. At Ralph G. Pasley Custom Homes, we custom design and build your home exactly the way you envision it. Whether you own your lot or you want to locate in one of our growing subdivisions, we'll build your home wherever your dream takes you. Call Ralph G. Pasley Custom Homes today at 800-377-3350, working together to build one dream at a time.
Well, when Marquette fell behind 12-0 with less than 3 minutes played in this football game, we said if Marquette could just hang on and right the ship, there was plenty of time to get back into the football game. Well, they're back in it. In fact, they have a 7-point lead, 19 unanswered points by the Explorers. They lead it 19-12. And Corey Marin will kick off the ball team at his own 40-yard line. Zach Keenan, the normal kickoff man, is injured, and so here is a high short kick by Marin, and the return man brought down almost immediately at his own 29-yard line. And that was pretty effective. So 1st and 10 for Auburn, right there, starting at their own 29.
Well, let's see what happens here. You know, Auburn jumped out to a big 2-touchdown lead, and now they're down by 7. I wonder if they're going to come out and try to throw the football.
Well,
I think it'd be a bad mistake, but let's see.
Here is the give to Dambacher right up the middle, breaks a tackle. Dambacher still on his feet, finally brought down by a host of Explorer tacklers, but not until he crosses the 35. It takes it out to about the 37-yard line, a gain of 8 on that carry for Dambacher. So at least on the first play, they come out and just pound away. And that's Dambacher's forte. He was just shy of 1,000 yards rushing coming into this game, so he's past the 1,000-yard mark. Now, Bates in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands it to Dambacher, breaks a tackle behind the line, still on his feet, breaks another tackle, crosses the 45 and pushed out of bounds out at the 47 or 48-yard line. And a big run there by Dambacher. When it looked like he might be stopped for a loss, they're going to say he stepped out at the 46 after a gain of 9 and just the 3rd first down of the night for the Trojans. Dambacher 6 carries for 35 yards. The clock stopped with 4:06 remaining in the half. Trips to the right side, Bates in the shotgun, with Dambacher standing to his left. Bates takes the snap and drops the throw. Rolls to his left under pressure, and he completes the pass to Dambacher, who's brought down after a short 2-yard gain, but Bates
paid the price.
And just got it away, and they pick up 2 on the completion. Danbacher's first catch of the night. Bates has completed 5 of 8 passes for 80 yards and completed them to 4 different receivers. So now 2nd and 8 Trojans from their own 48-yard line. Sargent wide right. He's got great speed. Trips to the left. And Bates, a quick pass out to the left side, completes it to Bushnell, who has some running room behind his blockers and has first down yardage down to the Marquette 42-yard line. And a gain of 10 on that completion. So Bushnell picks up 10, the 4th first down of the night, 1st and 10 Trojans at the Marquette 42 with 3:15 and counting remaining in the first half. Bates has 4 receivers wide to the right side, drops to throw, got some time, now he's going to try and run with it. Running to his left and being chased out of bounds. He just steps out of bounds down at the Marquette 39 after a gain of about 3. 2nd down and 7 for the Trojans, but that stops the clock with 2:59 remaining. Marquette leading 19-12. Auburn led 12-0 early. The Explorers have come back and taken the lead late. Now a direct snap to Danbacher right up the middle. Big hole, and he's dragged down from behind down at the 21-yard line. That play good for 18 yards on the direct snap to Danbacher. And another first down for the Trojans. 1st and 10, we'll call it the Marquette 22. They stop the clock to move the chains. And now they roll it again with 2:50 remaining. 1st and 10, Auburn at the Marquette 22-yard line. Bates in the shotgun, hands it to Danbacher. Up the middle, lots of running room. On his feet down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 12 on that carry and another first down. And it's going to be a first down. Is it 1st and goal, or can he get a first down just outside the goal line? We're just outside the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and 10. Just outside the 10. Backs in the eye behind Bates, and here is the give to Danbacher. This time he's brought down for a loss. On the tackle, Larry Newquist for the Explorers, a loss of 1 as Danbacher tried to go off tackle left.
Well, he's the type of runner that if you get him early, you'll bring him down. But if he builds up some momentum, it's Katie bar the door.
Danbacher 9 carries for 64 yards. Now the Explorers rush that line of scrimmage, and back to pass is Bates, rolling to his left. Rolling to his left, lets it go and just throws it away. Now a flag is thrown. A flag is thrown at the line of scrimmage. The flag was thrown late.
Very late.
And let's see what the call is here. I have no idea. Now they move the flag down to about the Explorer 2-yard line, but they talk things over with Marquette.
It could have been an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, and if that's the case, a walk-off yardage and it's a loss of down. It is an ineligible receiver downfield, so a 5-yard walk-off.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
I think that's a loss of down, isn't it? Now they keep the down marker at 2nd down.
Ball back to the 16-yard line.
Well, I don't know if I might not have declined that one and made it 3rd down. Now 2nd and 15. Here is the give, and that's Ryan Howard on the carry that time. He takes it back to the 11-yard line, so he gets 5 yards back. And it brings about 3rd and 11, which is where they would have been if they had declined the penalty.
He gained about 4 yards.
So now 3rd and 11 for the Trojans. The clock rolling with 1:20 remaining in the first half. The line of scrimmage, the Marquette 11-yard line. And here is the give to Dambacher. Right up the middle, he's hit after a short gain as he took it down to the 9-yard line, a gain of 2 by Dambacher. And now a flag is thrown late. And let's see what this is all about. Here comes the indication. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Marquette. And instead of 4th and 9 at the 10, it's going to be half the distance to the goal line and 1st and goal for Auburn. What a horrible penalty to take right there. And I guarantee you that Coach Reinhardt is not happy whatsoever. 1:06 remaining in the half. So instead of 4th and 9 at the 10, for Auburn, it's 1st and goal at the 5. You just can't do that. I don't know if somebody taunted or said something. It wasn't a late hit, or otherwise they'd have called a personal foul, and now Auburn wants a timeout. It comes with 1:06 remaining in the half. It's Marquette 19, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Take a look around. Take a good look. See something you want to sell? That rarely used bicycle? A lawnmower? A car? Want to sell the house? Sell them all at RiverBender.com. Just log on to RiverBender.com, click on the classified button, and design your own classified ad. And here's the best part. If you're a non-business entity, it's free. That's right, F-R-E-E, free. RiverBender.com. The Riverbend community at your fingertips.
This one. With John Rogers, Sam Stanback at Public School Stadium in Alton. 1st and goal, Auburn at the Marquette 5-yard line with 1:06 remaining in the half. Marquette leading by 7. Auburn has plenty of time here. They have a timeout remaining.
But look at the down marker. It's still 4th down.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct is not an automatic 1st down? Apparently not. Well, I beg your pardon. It is. It's 4th and 5, just outside the 5. Well, I thought sure that was an automatic 1st down. I'm glad it's not. Now here is Bates back to throw. Lets it go into the end zone. Overthrows his intended receiver, and the Explorer defense holds.
Incomplete on 4th down. Marquette will take over 1st and 10.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to review the rule book, but Marquette dodges a bullet right there. I thought.
Well, I think you're right. If it was a major penalty, it should have been half the distance to the goal plus a 1st down.
Yeah, if they had walked off 15, it would have been a 1st down.
Or half the distance.
Yeah.
But I begin to think maybe it wasn't major. Obviously, it wasn't a major penalty either. It could have been offsides or mouthpiece or something like that.
Well, I thought they signaled unsportsmanlike conduct, but whatever it was, Marquette dodges the bullet. Now, that's the 2nd time tonight that Auburn has had the football deep in Marquette territory and come away with no points. And now the Explorer offense, Marquette just takes a knee, and it's going to be 2nd down, and Marquette will just run the final seconds off the clock. We're down to 40 seconds, so they'll take another knee or 2. I think they can let this one get down to under 30, take a knee one more time, and that'll be it. And they do. They watch the clock tick down. And with 25 seconds remaining, Max Vest takes a knee once again. And that will be the half. And what a half it was. Auburn jumps out to a big 12-0 lead, but the Explorers come storming back. And at halftime, the score is Marquette 19, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Rolling Hills Golf Course, the friendliest golf course in the Riverbend area, has been providing an enjoyable golf experience and exceptional value for thousands of golfers every year. Rolling Hills offers a 27-hole golf facility, state-of-the-art driving range, and a clubhouse designed for tournament use. Bring out a few friends or have your next biz meeting where you can enjoy a light lunch with cocktails and free Wi-Fi. Be good to yourself in your game. Come out and visit Rolling Hills Golf Course or see us online at rollinghillsgc.com.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home. With no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Altonized Community Federal Credit Union has been dedicated to offering personalized, reliable service to meet the diversified financial need of each member since 1939. And on average, credit unions provide the best financial offerings with fewer fees, lower rates on loans, and higher rates on savings. Stop in today and learn about all the benefits of being a member of Altonized Community Federal Credit Union. And with only months left until Christmas, be sure to ask about their holiday loan special. Auto Centers Nissan, the largest Nissan dealer in Southern Illinois, is moving to a new state-of-the-art facility located near 255 in Wood River. This new facility at 1825 East Edwardsville Road will give us the ability to serve you even better. Along with award-winning service, we have huge selection, over 300 vehicles, including hard-to-find, high-line, and specialty cars. Come in and visit us today or check us out online at www.autocentersnissan.com, where you always buy it right. Couldn't you guess this, would you?
No, I wouldn't have.
Marquette got off to a bad start. They gave up a touchdown on the opening kickoff. And then the Explorers went 3 and out, and as they attempted to punt, snapped the ball over the head of the punter. 2 plays later, Auburn scored again, and with less than 3 minutes gone in this game, the Trojans led 12-0, but the Explorers came back, put together a long touchdown drive, and just kept plotting. And here at halftime, they lead it 19-12. So Auburn scores the first 12 points. Marquette scores the next 19, and the second half was going to be very, very interesting because both teams will go into the locker room, make adjustments, and then we'll see what happens. But a very entertaining football game there in the first half, and we expect no less in the second half. So without any further ado, Coach Rogers, why don't you run down that scoring summary, because there was quite a bit of it. Not many extra points, but lots of touchdowns.
And those come back to haunt you, I tell you that.
They do indeed.
The Auburn Trojans got on the scoreboard the first thing out of the chute at the 11:43 mark of the first period. Josh Sargent went around his right side for 94 yards and on a kickoff return, and the extra point kick by Johnson was blocked. And then the Explorers got the ball back, and they had a 3 and literally an out, because on 4th down, as Corey Marin went back to kick the ball was snapped over his head. He went back and recovered on the 16. 2 plays later, Auburn was in the end zone, this time on an 11-yard run by Ryan Howard, and the Trojans attempted a 2-point conversion, and that failed. The Explorers finally got on the scoreboard at the 5:43 mark of the first period.
There's no better place to get ready for Halloween than Baxter's. Need a costume for Halloween? Baxter's has a huge selection of costumes for rent. Having a Halloween party? Baxter's has aisles and aisles of spooky decorations, plus lots of fun and creepy toys for your trick-or-treaters. Pirates and princesses are big this year, but Baxter's can help you create your very own theme party with their 60-plus years of ideas. Make one stop to the place where great parties begin. Baxter's in Alton on Broadway. Baxter's business is fun.
Berger Automotive is ranked #1 for fixing cars right the first time and #1 for customer satisfaction. Berger Automotive can work on all models of vehicles and is your full-service car specialist for oil changes, major mechanical, body work, collision repairs, and tires. Loaner cars are available. Berger by the Bridge is better.
Honesty and integrity, that's Berger Automotive. Berger Automotive.
This time Marin's kick was good, and that made it 19-12, and that's where we stand here at halftime, Sam.
Jake Harrison with 2 touchdowns for the Explorers, a receiving touchdown from 33 yards out, and then that rushing touchdown from 83 yards out. And the Explorer defense then also do some kudos, because twice in that first half, Auburn was deep in Explorer territory. One time they had it 1st and 10 at the Marquette 11. and the Explorer defense kept them out, and then it was on the ensuing possession that Harrison had his 83-yard touchdown run. And then they're late in the half. Century 21 Seneca Edwards has been serving the community for over 30 years and prides itself on customer service. If you're in the real estate market, they provide the experience and service you need to make the best decisions. They offer over 50 exceptional agents who are highly trained to help you through the buying and selling process. With office in Godfrey, Brighton, and Staunton, Century 21 Seneca Edwards is bridging the gap in the real estate industry. Check them out online at c21seehomes.com.
What do I have to do to sell you a car today?
Roberts Motors, 2 locations, Alton and Wood River.
Thinking about doing some home improvement? The time has never been better than right now thanks to Eagle Home Improvement. We can handle all your remodeling needs including windows, siding, sunroofs, roofs, decks, and so much more. Right now save 33% on Eagle Board energy efficient siding. Save 25% on Eagle Series Gold Collection windows. Save 10% on sunroofs and 15% on the project of your choice. We even offer financing for all your remodeling needs. Call Eagle Home Improvement today for a free in-home estimate. 618-259-2500.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
It's back to take a look at some of the halftime statistics in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Shop for insurance. They're looking to buy more than just a policy. They're also shopping for an agent they trust to provide service after they become a client. That's why Country Insurance and Financial Services
we'll take three
agents
here.
work hard before, during, and after your transaction to make sure you're getting the coverage you need, the discounts you deserve, and a price that fits your budget. Remember, no matter what kind of coverage you need, from auto to life, from health to homeowners, you only need to call me, Lindsay Waters, your country agent in Alton.
At Value Right, we know it's hard to care for a loved one at home. That's why you'll find a wide selection of medical equipment and home health care supplies in our pharmacies, plus an online catalog of 1,500 items for delivery to your door. Let the friendly staff at your Value Right pharmacy suggest ways to increase comfort for your loved one and convenience for you, all at value prices.
Godfrey Prescription at Monticello Plaza and Massey's Pharmacy in North Alton, your Value Right pharmacy.
Value Right is always there.
I got heating, I got cooling, I got bearings to be asked for anything more. I got comfort for my family, I got bearings to be asked for anything more. Cold and winter, I don't mind it. In the summer, I'll stay cool. I got heating, I got cooling, I got bearings to be asked for anything more.
With John Rogers, Sam Stem back at Public School Stadium in Alton at halftime in this Class 2A playoff game. Marquette leading Auburn 19-12. The Trojans jumped out to a 12-0 lead. The Explorers have come storming back with 19 unanswered points. In the first half, the Explorers had 9 first downs to just 6 for the Trojans. Marquette 224 yards in total offense to 172 for the Trojans. Marquette 191 yards rushing. 191 yards rushing in the first half for the Explorers without Jared Zerwas. That's a telling figure. And 33 yards passing. The one completed pass by Max Vest. The touchdown pass to Jake Harrison. Vest 1 for 2 for 33 yards and the touchdown. Larry Newquist, the leading rusher for, well, that's not true. Jake Harrison is the leading rusher. 2 carries for 85 yards, including the 83-yard touchdown run. Newquist, 8 carries for 45 yards. Max Vest, the quarterback, 13 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Steve Utley, 2 carries for 38 yards. And Travis Jones, 2 carries for 5 yards. Marquette penalized 3 times for 20 yards. And they did turn the ball over once, losing a fumble, but they, in effect, had a second turnover when they snapped the ball over the head of the punter on 4th down. And all Marin could do was go back and cover it at his own 15-yard line. Now for the Trojans, they're 172 yards in total offense, 90 of it in the passing department, as their freshman quarterback Michael Bates completed 6 of 10 passes for 90 yards. And in the rushing department, 82 yards rushing. Their leading rusher is James Dambacher, 10 carries for 66 yards. Ryan Howard, 3 carries for 17 yards and a touchdown. And Bates, Michael Bates, 2 carries for -1. Auburn fumbled the ball once, but they did not lose that fumble, so no turnovers in the first half for Auburn. They were penalized 5 times for 25 yards, but a few of those penalties came at inopportune times in critical situations deep in Marquette territory and really hurt the Auburn cause. So here we are, Coach Rogers, a 7-point Marquette lead at halftime. The Explorers will receive, well, no, they won't.
Yes, they will.
Oh, they will. They will receive the second half kickoff. I was thinking they had an early kickoff, but that was after Auburn had run the opening kickoff back. So Marquette will receive that second half kickoff, and we have the Rogers theorem back in play here because an Explorer drive and a touchdown early on could really put a lot of pressure on this young Auburn squad. On the other hand, if the Trojans can stop the Explorers, force a punt, get some good field position, they can put themselves right back in this ball game. So a lot yet to be determined here tonight on what is a perfect football night. I mean, the weather couldn't be better. The field a little wet in spots, but actually this field is in better shape at this time of the year than it has been in many, many years. Still has some grass on it and doesn't have too many big mud pits out there. So
well, that rain the last day and a half just soaked right in.
Yes, it did. So the Explorers will get that second half kickoff. Now, looking ahead to next week, because there will be a next week for one of these 2 squads, and the winner of this ball game is going to get to take on the winner of the game between Toledo Cumberland and Casey Westfield. That game being played tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock up in Casey. And it's the number 1 seed of the 18 pod against the number 8 seed. Casey Westfield hosting the game. They're 9-0, and Toledo comes in at 5-4. And of course, Casey Westfield would be a heavy favorite in that one. If Marquette does indeed win here tonight, they will go on the road no matter what next week. If they are to take on Casey Westfield would get the home game based upon the fact that both teams would have hosted a home game in the first round, and Casey Westfield is the higher seed. If Toledo should upset Casey Westfield, then Marquette would have to travel to Toledo by virtue of the fact that Toledo has not yet hosted a game, and the Explorers would have hosted in the first round. So either way, Marquette goes on the road, but you don't care about that. You want to just keep playing.
Yeah, that's the whole thing at this time of the season.
So, and a big advantage, really, if Marquette can hang on and win, I guarantee you the coaching staff will be up in Casey tomorrow, won't they, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
I would hope so.
Yes, indeed. So that may be part of the thinking as to why the teams are playing here on Friday night. It's interesting to note that the IHSA says a first-round playoff game has to be played on Saturday unless both teams agree to play it on a Friday night. So obviously the Explorers wanted to play on Friday. That's the offer they made to Auburn. The Trojans said that's just fine with us. Let's move the start time back to 7:30, give us a little extra time to get there. And I'm sure both coaching staffs were thinking, well, if we can play on Friday, the winner then has an extra day, and then we can go up and scout that Toledo-Casey Westfield game.
But Auburn's not that far away. It's just north of Staunton.
Right.
It's down there in Madison County.
So work to be done for both squads here. One will survive to play next week, and the other, of course, will call it a season. And our hope is that it's the Marquette Explorers who are still alive as the second round of the playoffs come about. One thing to watch, I'm still a little bit concerned about that wrist of Max Vest. At one time, Andre Embry was over here warming up on the near sideline for the Explorers. He's the backup quarterback. And Vest took a hit, appeared to be on his right wrist early in the game, and came off the field holding that wrist in pain, and he has checked that thing out several times. And, he threw the 33-yard touchdown pass to Jake Harrison. Then it was after that I think he injured the wrist. And there was one other pass that he threw. He had a wide open Drew Schwartz out near midfield and grossly underthrew him. And I just have a sneaking hunch that Max Vest just can't throw the football. He's still holding that wrist as he comes off after going out to midfield as a captain of this squad to meet with the officials prior to the second half kickoff. And as he comes to the near sideline, Dr. Vest, the team doctor,
and
his father, and his father is talking to him.
And Vest just walks away from Vest.
And he comes over and practices throwing the football. So I really do think that right wrist is bothering him. It doesn't seem to be affecting his handoffs, but whether he can throw the football or not is subject to question. And of course, I'm sure Coach Rick Reinhardt really hopes that Vest is not in a position where he has to throw the football. But that's something to keep an eye on at any rate, because it may have an effect. Well, both teams back out on the field, and in moments we'll be ready for the second half kickoff. At halftime, it's Marquette 19, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw.
There's no better place to get ready for Halloween than Baxter's. Need a costume for Halloween? Baxter's has a huge selection of costumes for rent. Having a Halloween party? Baxter's has aisles and aisles of spooky decorations, plus lots of fun and creepy toys for your trick-or-treaters. Pirates and princesses are big this year, but Baxter's can help you create your very own theme party with their 60-plus years of ideas. Make one stop to the place where great parties begin. Baxter's in Alton on Broadway. Baxter's business is fun.
Berger Automotive is #1 for fixing cars right the first time and #1 for customer satisfaction. Berger Automotive can work on all models of vehicles and is your full-service car specialist for oil changes, major mechanical, body work, collision repairs, and tires. Loaner cars are available. Berger by the Bridge is better.
Honesty and integrity, that's Berger Automotive. Berger Automotive.
Century 21 Seneca Edwards has been serving the community for over 30 years and prides itself on customer service. If you're in the real estate market, they provide the experience and service you need to make the best decisions. They offer over 50 exceptional agents who are highly trained to help you through the buying and selling process. With offices in Godfrey, Brighton, and Staunton, Century 21 Seneca Edwards is bridging the gap in the real estate industry. Check them out online at c21seehomes.com. So the Explorer offense makes its way onto the field. I'm very impressed at 191 yards rushing there in the first half. That's quite a total.
Well, I was just thinking the same thing, is that I think the Explorers need to give the Trojans a dose of Larry Newquist here in the third period.
Newquist, the lone setback, double wing formation. And it's Vest running the option to the left side. Steps up through the hole out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. A gain of 13 on that play by Max Vest. Vest made a dandy move right at the hole and ends up picking up 13 and the 10th first down of the night for the Explorers. 1st and 10 shy of their own 43 for Marquette.
And Newquist was wide open.
Andre Embry continues to warm up here on the near sideline. Double wing formation, and here is the give, and that's Newquist that time. Boy, the Explorers went on a quick count there. I'm not sure they were even set. They got away with it, didn't they?
Yeah, they were not set, and they got away with it. Because number 10 out here, Corey Marin, what's he doing out there? Whoever was the wide out to the left side was not set.
I think it was Bryce Smith, number 20, perhaps. He comes off the field now, but Newquist lost a yard on that carry. 2nd and 11 for the Explorers. Just outside their own 41-yard line. Receivers left and right. They run the option to the right side and pitch it back to Newquist. Newquist steps inside a tackler and takes it across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. Gain of 6 on that carry by Larry Newquist brings about 3rd and 5. So the Explorers facing their first 3rd down opportunity here in the 3rd quarter. It was on 3rd and long that Harrison ripped off that 83-yard touchdown run on the wing counter. Will they go back to the wing counter here? Double wing formation with Zach Keenan wide to the left side. It is the wing counter. And this time Harrison stopped at the point of attack. He may have gained a yard. And it's going to be 4th and 4 for the Explorers. So it didn't work that time as Auburn shut down the hole on that wing counter. And now Corey Marin checks into the ball game. He'll go drop back in punt formation. He stands at his own 36-yard line, awaiting the snap.
Colin Bushnell and Eric Kirby back to receive the punt.
Kirby and Bushnell back deep to receive the punt for the Auburn Trojans. The Explorers take a while here to line it up. And there is a high snap that Marin brings down. What a job by Corey Marin to go high and bring that snap down. And now here is the return by Bushnell for the Trojans. And he returns it from his own 25 out to about the 29-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Corey Marin averted disaster there. He went up and made a one-handed grab of that high snap. And he gets congratulations from the coaching staff as he comes here to the near sideline.
At their own 29-yard line.
That was nearly a disaster right there. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 29. And Bushnell wasn't real wise to return that kick either. He picked it up in traffic. Now Bates back to throw, lets it go out to the right side and overthrows his intended receiver here in the right flat. The intended receiver was Cole Bush, and while he had a step on the defender, boy, he's a big kid too, isn't he? How tall is he? I'll have to look at the roster here. 6'4". You can tell that from up here, but Bates overthrew him. And it's 2nd and 10 Trojans from their own 29. Trailing by 7 here early in the 3rd quarter. The snap to Bates and the give to Dambacher right at the middle. Big hole. He's got ahead of steam. Running over tacklers out across the 40 to the 41-yard line and picked up a 14 on that carry. Out to the 42-yard line. A gain of 13 make it for Dambacher and a 1st down for the Trojans. You're right about him. Once he gets ahead of steam up, he's hard to stop. He doesn't start too quickly, but tough to stop once he gets it rolling. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 42. Now Bates in the shotgun. 3-step drop, lets it go out to the right side. He's got his man and tackled from behind by Vest down at the 43-yard line. Making the reception for 15 yards was number 25, Eric Kirby. So a 15-yard gain and another 1st down for the Trojans. That puts Bates over 100 yards passing on the night. He's 7 for 12 for 105 yards. Now a direct snap to Dambacher, looking for some running room to the right side. Breaking tackles at the 40, finally brought down at the 38-yard line after a gain of about 5.
That was a direct snap to the fullback.
Well, we'll call it a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Trojans. And is there a penalty on this play? No, everybody's just a little slow getting it to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 6, and now the Trojans go without a huddle at the Marquette 38-yard line. Bates in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops. Now lets it go out to the left side and overshoots his intended receiver over in the left flat. The intended receiver there was Joey Johnson. He was open, and Bates just threw it poorly. And it brings about a 3rd down play, 3rd and 6 for the Trojans at the Marquette 38-yard line. I'm really surprised they don't give the football to Dambacher more. 12 carries for 83 yards. Now a 3rd down play here for the Trojans, again from the no huddle, and again from the shotgun. Quick pass out to the left side. This time they connect with Johnson. He breaks a tackle, still on his feet at the 20 and hauled down from behind. He fumbled the football, but it went out of bounds. No, he didn't fumble. They just brought him down at the 10-yard line. Johnson just slipped a couple of tackles, and that completion goes for 30 yards. Looked like Marquette might stop him shy of the 1st down. Instead, he takes it 30 yards on the play. And another 1st down for the Trojans, who for the 3rd time tonight have it 1st and 10 at the Marquette 11-yard line. The other 2 times they had it there, they didn't score. Let's see if they can here. Bates from the shotgun, hands to Dambacher, and he is hit and breaks a tackle, still on his feet. He got back to perhaps the line of scrimmage. He was going to be dropped for a loss, but kept his feet.
Angelo Cross was the first to hit him, and then he just shrugged off Cross, and but that was enough to slow him down.
And now a timeout on the field. The timeout called, I think, by Auburn. Yes. 7:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marquette 19, Auburn 12. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Auto Centers Nissan, the largest Nissan dealer in Southern Illinois, is moving to a new state-of-the-art facility located near 255 and Wood River. This facility at 1825 East Edwardsville Road will give us the ability to serve you even better. Along with award-winning service, we have huge selection, over 300 vehicles, including hard-to-find, high-line, and specialty cars. Come in and visit us today or check us out online at www.autocentersnissan.com, where you always buy it right.
There's no better place to get ready for Halloween than Baxter's. Need a costume for Halloween? Baxter's has a huge selection of costumes for rent. Having a Halloween party? Baxter's has aisles and aisles of spooky decorations.
Out after the gain, no yardage on 1st down. 2nd and 10 at the Marquette 11-yard line. Twice Auburn has been in this position. Twice they came away with no points. Now the power I formation behind Bates. And here is the give to the fullback, Dambacher, and he is hit and brought down for a loss. A swarming Explorer defense. Larry Newquist, the first to hit Dambacher, and then a host of Explorer tacklers filled in along with Andrew Cordy, who I think finally finished off Dambacher for a 1-yard loss at the 12-yard line. 3rd and 11 for the Trojans right there. And for whatever reason, Auburn just can't get it going when they get deep in Explorer territory. Now Bates in the shotgun on the 3rd down play. Quick pass out to the left side. A wide receiver screen on his feet. The receiver, Bushnell, and he's in for the touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown pass from Bates to Bushnell. And Auburn is within an extra point of tying this game. That was a good call. A wide receiver screen. So Bushnell with the touchdown from 11 yards out. Bates now 9 of 15 for 146 yards. That's his first touchdown pass. And let's see what they do here on the extra point attempt. Twice they've missed it trying to kick it. Once they missed it on a 2-point attempt, and it is Joey Johnson, the kicker, on out of the hold of Michael Bates. And a critical extra point here. Only one extra point has been made all night snap, the spot, the kick. It's up, it's high, it's long, and it's good. 6:33 remaining in the third quarter. It's Marquette 19, Auburn 19. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
There's no better place to get ready for Halloween than Baxter's. Need a costume for Halloween? Baxter's has a huge selection of costumes for rent. Having a Halloween party? Baxter's has aisles and aisles of spooky decorations, plus lots of fun and creepy toys for your trick-or-treaters. Pirates and princesses are big this year, but Baxter's can help you create your very own theme party with their 60-plus years of ideas. Make one stop to the place where great parties begin. Baxter's in Alton on Broadway. Baxter's business is fun.
3 remaining in the third quarter, so we played almost half of the third quarter. Michael Bates hit Alan Bushnell with an 11-yard touchdown pass, and Joey Johnson added the extra point to tie this game at 19. And so with a quarter and a half remaining, it's a brand new ball game. Auburn scored the first 12 points. Marquette scored the next 19, and now Auburn the first 7 points in the second half. And here is Max Vest to return from his own 10, but he went down to a knee to catch the football. And they'll spot it right there at the 10-yard line, and Vest hits himself on the helmet. So what was I thinking? He didn't want the football to get through his legs, so he went down to a knee, and Marquette will start deep in their own territory with this game tied at 19. So the Explorer offense back out onto the field. They had the first possession of the second half. After a couple of first downs, had to punt, and now the Explorers, with the game tied at 19, start first and 10 from their own 10, and here's the give to Newquist. He fumbles the football. The ball is loose, and a big pile up at the 11-yard line, and Auburn says they have it. Let's see what the officials say. It is Auburn's football at the Marquette 11. So a big turnover there. And I'm not sure exactly how Newquist lost the football, but he did. And they're going to put it down at the 12, and that's where the Trojans will have the football. So a big turn of momentum there. With this game tied at 19, Auburn has a huge opportunity here, and the Marquette defense has a huge challenge. On the first down play, here is the give to Ryan Howard, the tailback, following blockers into the hole, and he takes it down to the 6-yard line for a gain of 6. So Howard, with only his 4th carry of the night, and out of the power I formation, he picks up 6. 2nd and 4 Trojans at the Marquette 6-yard line. Clock rolling with 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And the Trojans send a receiver wide to the right side to stay with a power I formation. And here's the give again to Howard on the double lead to the right side. Howard inside the 5, down to about the 1-yard line. A gain of 5 on that carry, and that's going to be a first down. First and goal Trojans at the Marquette 1. So instead of the spread formation that they've been using most of the night, here they've gone to the power I. And it's first and goal Trojans at the Marquette 1-yard line. Bates under center. Takes the snap, turns, gives it to Dambacher, and Dambacher's in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for James Dambacher, and the Trojans have regained the lead with 5:33 remaining here in the third quarter. So the Trojan touchdown drive, and with 6:33 remaining in the quarter, it was Bates to Bushnell for the touchdown to tie the game, and now just 1 minute later with 5:33 remaining after the Marquette turnover, it's Dambacher with the 1-yard touchdown run, and Joey Johnson on to attempt the extra point to make the Trojan lead 7. They line it up, the snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's long, and it's good. 5:33 remaining in the is Auburn 26, Marquette 19. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Berger Automotive is ranked number 1 for fixing cars right the first time and number 1 for customer satisfaction. Berger Automotive can work on all models of vehicles and is your full-service car specialist for oil changes, major mechanical, body work, collision repairs, and tires. Loaner cars are available. Berger by the Bridge is better.
Honesty and integrity, that's Berger Automotive. Berger Automotive.
Well, the Auburn Trojans have gained the third quarter momentum. They have outscored Marquette 14-0 here in the third quarter, and we still have 5:33 remaining in the quarter. And the Explorers, who held a 7-point halftime lead, now find themselves trailing by 7. And a big turnover deep in Explorer territory after Auburn had gotten the tying touchdown, gave the Trojans a short field. Marquette has twice given the Trojans a short field. Now Max Vest returning the kickoff out across the 25 to the 30 to the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 Explorers. Right there, Vest returned from his 10 out to the 36, and now the Marquette Explorers offense needs to get something rolling here as the Explorers find themselves trailing for the second time in this ball game. And now we've got a face mask call against the Trojans. Will give the Explorers even more field position as they'll walk it off. Let's see if it's a 5-yard walk-off or a 15-yard walk-off. They walk it off just 5, an incidental face mask. That is Auburn's 6th penalty of the night for 30 yards. 1st and 10 Marquette from their own 41-yard line. Double wing formation. Put Herod in motion and run the option to the left side. Vest now just ducks up inside and turned what looked to be a loss into a gain as he takes it out to about the 44-yard line for a gain of 3 by Max Vest. Vest 15 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. He's thrown only 2 passes, 1 of 2 in the passing department for 33 yards and a touchdown. So Vest has rushed for a touchdown and thrown a touchdown. Jake Harrison has rushed for a touchdown, caught a touchdown pass. Now here is the give, and that's Newquist out across midfield down to the Marquette, or to the Auburn 49-yard line. Actually, was it Newquist or Utley? It was Utley on the carry, and he gets up a bit shaken up. But Utley picked up 7 on the carry, good for a Marquette first down, and then checks out of the ball game, a bit shaken up after carrying that football. 1st and 10 Marquette at the Auburn 49-yard line. Newquist the lone setback, double wing formation. And here is the give to Newquist, working right up that gut. And he pounds his way down to the 46-yard line for a gain of 3. Newquist, 12 carries for 53 yards. The clock rolling with 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. Auburn leading Marquette 26-19. 2nd down and 7 for the Explorers at the 46 of the Trojans. Marquette sends Drew Schwartz wide to the right side. And here is the handoff to Travis Jones. Jones sweeping the right side, takes it down to the 41-yard line. He had gone in motion from the left wingback position, and they gave him the direct handoff. Say his knee went down at the 42-yard line, so Travis Jones a 4-yard gain on that carry. Brings about 3rd and 3 for the Explorers at the Trojans' 42-yard line. Down to 3:33 and counting remaining in the third quarter. Marquette trailing by 7. 3 receivers to the left side, another receiver wide right. They pitch it back to Newquist trying to sweep the left side, and that play goes nowhere. Newquist thrown for a loss on the play back to the 44-yard line. A loss of 3 brings about 4th and 6, and Marquette sends the punting team out onto the field. And Corey Marin, who's had one ball snapped over his head in punt formation, and on his last punt attempt had to jump high to bring down a high snap, stands back at his own 43-yard line, wondering what kind of snap he's going to get here. A long count. And Marin gets a good snap and gets a dandy kick away. And the Trojans will watch it hit. It takes an Auburn bounce and rolls out across the 15 and hit down at about the 12-yard line. It rolls out to about the 16 or the 17-yard line where the Explorers finally down it. And now the Trojans will start deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. And the Trojans have a 7-point lead and the football with 2:32 remaining here in the third quarter. And they take their time getting the offense out onto the field. So this would be an opportune time for the Marquette defense to try to come up with a 3-and-out and keep good field position for the Explorers. Here's the give to Dambacher right up the middle. He runs right over Newquist, takes it out across the 20 to the 23-yard line for a gain of 6 on that carry for James Dambacher. He's now carried 16 times for 91 yards and a touchdown. That was almost a 7-yard pickup as he took it out to the 23-yard line. 2nd and 3 Trojans down to 2 minutes and counting remaining in the third quarter. Auburn leading by 7. Bates, quarterback in the shotgun, takes the snap. Quick pass out to the left side. He completes it to Joey Johnson. He spins off a tackler and takes it out to the 30-yard line. And a gain of 6 on that completion and a first down for the Trojans. 152 yards passing on the night for the freshman quarterback, Michael Bates, the son of the coach. That was Johnson's second reception for a total of 36 yards. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 31-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, Bates in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Well, that's Dambacher that time in the shotgun, and he takes off running with it up the left sideline and takes it out to the 45-yard line for a gain of about 13 on that carry and another first down. So that time Dambacher moved to the quarterback's position, and after the 13-yard pickup, he's got 104 yards rushing on 17 carries. First and 10 for the Trojans from their own 44-yard line. 2 receivers to the left side, another receiver wide right, and now the Trojans want a timeout. It comes with 1:13 remaining here in the third quarter. The score, Auburn 26, Marquette 19. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sport. Century 21 Seneca Edwards has been serving the community for over 30 years and prides itself on customer service. If you're in the real estate market, they provide the experience and service you need to make the best decisions. They offer over 50 exceptional agents who are highly trained to help you through the buying and selling process. With offices in Godfrey, Brighton, and Staunton, Century 21 Seneca Edwards is bridging the gap in the real estate industry. Check them out online at c21seehomes.com.
What do I have to do to sell you a car today?
Roberts Motors, 2 locations, Alton and Wood River.
And for the Trojans from their own 45-yard line, an incomplete pass out to the right side, thrown by Michael Bates. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Auburn from their own 45-yard line. That stops the clock with 1:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Auburn leading Marquette 25-19. The Explorers led, 26-19. The Explorers led 19-12 at the half. Wide receiver screen to the left side is completed. And a short gain over there, a gain of about 4 as the Explorers quickly close. It's hard to tell who the receiver was. It might have been Bushnell. It was. Bushnell made the reception and picked up 4. It brings about 3rd and 6 for the Trojans. 156 yards passing, 11 of 18 for Bates. Bushnell just caught his 4th pass of the night for a total of 29 yards and a touchdown. Now, flag is thrown, as I believe Auburn has 12 players on the field. So illegal participation. Somebody came on from the far sideline. Auburn tried to go without a huddle, but nobody went off. The referee was alert. He picked that up. And that 5-yard walk-off hurts the Trojans. And that's not the first time they've had a silly penalty like that. Now Mike Slaughter joins us on the broadcast as Coach Rogers had to leave early. And it brings about 3rd and 11 for the Trojans. Marquette really needs a stop here, trailing by 7. They've been outscored 14-0 here in the third quarter, and we've got 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Still some confusion on the Auburn sideline as they try to go no huddle. Now they get the right people in there. Bates back to throw and completes it to Sargent. Down the left sideline he goes, and he picks up a first down all the way down at the Marquette 35-yard line. And a gain of 18 on that completion.
Sam, that's been a good way for them, just dumping that ball off and letting the kid run. For some reason, we have nobody, we being Marquette, of course, have nobody picking the short dumps up. That should be a linebacker coming up, picking up somebody.
Well, Sargent has been quite a threat. He's the one that returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Now the give to Dambacher, and he gets ahead of steam up and still on his feet. First down yardage down to the Marquette 25-yard line. But there is a penalty marker on the play back at the original line of scrimmage. And if this goes against Auburn, it'll be a big plus for the Explorers.
Well, and it should, 99 times out of 100, that call right there is normally a holding call. They're bringing the ball back now, Sam. They'll be marking it off against Auburn.
10-yard walk-off against the Trojans. So instead of 1st and 10 down at the Marquette 25, they're going to have it 1st and 20 all the way back at their own, at the Marquette 46-yard line. So the 8th penalty of the night against the Trojans. Marquette needs to get a stop here. They can't afford to fall 2 touchdowns behind for the second time in this game. Bates drops the throw under some pressure, steps up, now just dumps it off, and he finds his man, Sargent, down the left sideline all the way down to the 19-yard line, and a big pickup there from the 45 to the 19, a 26-yard completion. And he just shot-putted that football out there.
Yeah, and like we just said a minute ago, that's been a huge play for them. Just dump it off to the man. No one's picking up that short man, and for some reason, he's just running unmolested down the sidelines.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Marquette 21-yard line. Now Bates goes up under center with the backs in the eye, takes the snap and turns and gives it to Howard. Howard breaks a tackle in the backfield. Takes it inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line.
That'll be the last play of this quarter, Sam.
But a gain on that carry for Howard of nearly 4. We'll call it a gain of 3, and it is indeed the final play of the quarter. After 3 quarters, the score, Auburn 26, Marquette 19. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Thinking about doing some home improvement? The time has never been better than right now thanks to Eagle Home Improvement. We can handle all your remodeling needs including windows, siding, sunroofs, roofs, decks, and so much more. Right now save 33% on Eagle Board energy efficient siding. Save 25% on Eagle Series Gold Collection windows. Save 10% on sunroofs and 15% on the project of your choice. We even offer financing for all your remodeling needs. Call Eagle Home Improvement today for a free in-home estimate. 618-259-2500.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Stadium in 12 minutes to play, a critical juncture in this ball game as Marquette finds itself trailing by 7. They trailed by 12 early, came back to take a 7-point halftime lead. They were outscored 14-0 in the third quarter, and now as the fourth quarter begins, Auburn has it 2nd and 7 at the Marquette 17-yard line.
And you know, Sam, as you said, Marquette being down 7 points right now, we can't afford to fall behind 14 because we don't have that quick strike ability.
And now the Explorers jump, and 2nd and 7 is going to become 2nd and 2, all the way down at the Explorer 12. Well, that didn't help. Only the 4th penalty of the night against the Explorers, but that one came at an inopportune time. And the Marquette defense has got to find a way to keep Auburn out of the end zone right here. Marquette trailed by 12 early, but took that 7-point halftime lead, but was outscored 14-0 there in the 3rd quarter. Here's the handoff to Dambacher, and he's got first down yardage inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Auburn right there. Well, they give him forward progress to the 8. So 1st and goal, Auburn at the Explorer 8-yard line.
You know, Sam, back in the 2001 season when I was coaching Marquette, we were playing a home game here and a home playoff game, and Anna Jonesboro came up here, and I'm sure you and John probably mentioned it, maybe you did. They came up here with a huge fullback like this Dambacher kid, and he just ran all over us.
Here's the give this time, Ryan Howard, and Howard is hauled down from behind, and I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. He tried to take it wide to the right side, and he got it back to the 9, but that's a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line, and that was a big play there.
Yeah, that was a big play. Someone, I couldn't tell who, but someone came from behind and ran him down. But as I was saying, this Dambacher kid, he's a huge fullback, 243 pounds, something like that. He'll probably get the ball right now.
Power I formation, and back to throw is Bates. Lets it go into the end zone and overshoots his intended receiver, Kirby. Kirby was closely covered down there, but Bates overthrew him nonetheless. And it brings about 3rd and goal at the 9. And I can't emphasize how important this is here that the Explorers hold for 2 more downs, and it is 4-down territory.
Well, this could be the game. These 2 plays here could be the game because falling behind 14 points, like we said, is going to be tough for Marquette. And I tell you, Sam, I just came in from outside, and it's raining harder than it looks, yeah.
Back to throw, Bates. Rolling to his left, rolling, lets it go into the end zone. Incomplete, overthrows Embry once again. Embry was open, not Embry, I'm sorry, that's Kirby. Kirby was open that time as he had broken away from Jake Harrison, who had the coverage. And Bates just overshot him. Bates threw on the run. And now it's 4th down, and now they bring the field goal team out.
Well, this could be a huge play, obviously, because, you put Marquette down 10 points, and they got to score twice, so this is a big play right here.
Oh, they threw a flag on the play as well. There was a flag. I thought the referee made an indication of a penalty. Well, maybe not. I don't know what he was indicating. He was over here like he was calling a penalty. Now they stopped the clock. See, he rolled the clock, and then he stopped the clock because he realized it was an incomplete pass. This is going to be a 26-yard field goal attempt by Joey Johnson from the far hash mark. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's plenty high, it's plenty long, and it's good. A 26-yard field. It comes with 10:47 remaining in the 4th quarter and gives the Auburn Trojans a 10-point lead. It's Auburn 29, Marquette 19. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. It's time to book a date for your fall banquet and holiday party at Johnson's Corner. The banquet room at Johnson's Corner seats up to 80, and you can choose either a buffet or sit-down meal. Johnson's Corner will also cater to your home party, workplace, employee appreciation party, birthday party, or a holiday party. When Johnson's Corner caters, you can count on prompt personal service, and afterwards, they'll even clean up the food mess. Call for available dates, 465-5640. Johnson's Corner, the most popular corner in Alton. They did not allow Auburn to get into the end zone. And with the Explorers' good kicking game, that might be critical. Marquette in better shape, only 10 down as opposed to 14 down. But now the challenge is for the Explorer offense to put something together on this possession. Marquette trailing 29-19 after leading 19-12 at the half. So they've been outscored 7-0 here in the second half. And Joey Johnson has the ball teed at his own 40-yard line for the Trojans to kick it away to the Explorers. Max Vest and Andre Embry back deep to return this kick. Embry comes up and can't pick it up, but finally it is picked up by Larry Newquist. And Newquist takes it out to the 30-yard line. That field getting very slick. Embry slipped on that play. Vest slipped on that play. And the rain coming down rather heavily here at Public School Stadium in Alton early in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's going to play a big part in this game right now because Marquette, being down 10, is going to have to eventually start putting the ball up. And right now the weather is obviously playing into the hands of Auburn.
Max Vest stays at quarterback. He's got some kind of an injury to his right, whether it's his wrist or his shoulder or his elbow. He's only thrown the ball twice. Now here he wants to throw and sprints out to his right. He wanted to throw a little pop pass, and now he'll run up the right sideline, out across the 35, still on his feet to the 39-yard line, and a flag is thrown. Another flag is thrown. I think they got Vest's face mask, and then I don't know what the later flag was for. But Vest took it from his own 30 out to the 38, where his face mask was grabbed at the point of the tackle.
Yeah, and I just think that second flag was just reinforcing the first one. Sometimes officials do that.
Now the officials talking things over, so at least an 8-yard pickup on that play from Max Vest, and then we'll see what they tack on after the play.
But I think you're right, Sam. You know, you're talking about Vest, either his wrist, his elbow, his shoulder. I actually think it's his shoulder bothering him, and I think what happened was on one of the earlier plays, it might have been on a kickoff return, it might have been on a run. He lowered his shoulder to run over somebody, and I tell you what, as a coach, one thing you don't like watching is your quarterback lowering his right shoulder if he's right-handed to run over somebody, and I think he jammed his shoulder.
Well, it was a personal foul, face mask against the Trojans, and then a personal foul against the Explorers. So both were dead ball fouls, but Marquette, no, they didn't mark off any yardage, but he gave Marquette a first down.
Oh, I see.
Because the effect of the personal foul face mask against the Trojans was a first down, and then...
Oh, so now they're going to move it back.
No, they're not going to move it at all. But they gave Marquette a first down on the play.
And Marquette gained yards on that.
Marquette got 8 yards on the carry by Vest, and then was entitled to 15 on the personal foul face mask, but then 15 back the other way on the personal foul against Marquette. But I'm not sure why Marquette gets a first down out of it. To me, it would be 2nd and 2, but they gave him 1st and 10 from their own 38. Now Vest in the shotgun. Actually, it's Andre Embry now, and he drops the snap out of the shotgun and covers it back at his own 35-yard line. And so that tells you Max Vest can't throw the football.
That's what I was going to say. That right there tells you we brought our sophomore quarterback in, Andre, and obviously Max can't throw the ball. Andre can throw the ball. He throws a heck of a ball, but he's probably nervous out there too, and he dropped that snap.
Of course, it's wet out there because it's raining, so a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13 for the Explorers from their own 35-yard line. And now Vest, back at quarterback under center, takes the snap and drops to throw. Swing pass, screen pass out to the left side to Newquist, and Newquist takes it out to the 40 for a gain of 5, but it's going to be 3rd and about 8 for the Explorers.
Yeah, they needed a lot more than that. I mean, couldn't help it. It was that was very well played by Auburn, and they kept us to 5 yards. There is an Auburn player down on the field after that play.
So we'll call it 3rd and 9 for the Explorers from their own 39-yard line. But now the Trojan down and injured. And I think if Marquette wants to throw it, it's going to have to be passes like that, just little short passes. Even that short screen pass thrown by Vest, he just threw a little wounded duck up.
Right.
But now Coach Reinhardt standing here on the near sideline talking to both Max Vest and Andre Embry. And Embry is going to go back into the ball game, but Vest remains in as well, and they might consider putting Embry as a back in there. And if they want him to throw, they may. Right? Well, of course, Vest could also be a receiver, couldn't he?
Or a tailback even.
Yeah.
He's a good runner, and you know what? Right now, if Marquette doesn't do something, they have 9 minutes and 28 seconds left in their season. They can do whatever they want right now with Vest, and they gotta throw caution to the wind.
Andre Embry, a sophomore quarterback, wears number 13. He's a big kid, 6'1", 180. But not much varsity experience for him. But, when your senior quarterback, because of some kind of injury to his right arm, can't throw the football, and you're down by 10 with 9:20 remaining in the fourth quarter, you have to do something. Embry in there in the shotgun. Gets a snap and drops to throw. Looking downfield, launches it deep down the right sideline, and it is picked off at the 25 by Bushnell, and he returns to the 30. On his feet at the 35, looking for the right sideline. Gets to the right sideline, still on his feet to the 40, and finally brought down. The intended receiver on that play was Max Vest, and Andre Embry just stood back and threw it as far as he could. And Bushnell picked it off at the 25 and returns it to the 40, but that's the same effect as a punt.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he threw a nice ball. It's just that we didn't have any receivers who could have run that far that fast because Andre just unloaded.
So that's the third turnover of the night for the Explorers, but probably the least costly turnover.
Well, at least in terms of where Auburn's starting with the ball, you're right. I mean, they could still wind up scoring off this series, but at least where they're scoring, obviously the other two turnovers for Marquette led directly to touchdowns.
So Marquette really needs to force a 3-and-out here. Bates in the shotgun takes the snap, turns, and hands it to the running back to his right, and he just takes it right up the middle out across the 45 to the 49-yard line. And that was Ryan Howard on the carry, and Howard picks up 9.
Yeah, for some reason that middle has been Marquette's Achilles heel all year. It seems to me that teams have just taken advantage of running up the middle.
2nd and 1 for the Trojans from their own 49-yard line. It's getting late, 8:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Marquette trailing 29-19. The scoring has been in spurts here. On 2nd and 1, here is the give. Again, it's Howard, and he's got first down yardage and then some as he takes it inside the Marquette 45 down to the 42-yard line. Ryan Howard with 9 more on that carry and another first down for the Trojans. They're 14th of the night, and they're 8th here in the second half.
Well, yeah, right now, and as I said a few games ago, I hate that cliche about a tale of two halves, but Marquette didn't show up this half so far, and right now the clock is an enemy of Marquette, and it's sure in favor of Auburn.
1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Marquette 42-yard line. Here is the give again. It's Howard, and right up the right sideline he goes, and that's going to be a touchdown. It's not Ryan Howard on the carry. That time I think it was number 26. Ryan Gardner, 25 or 26. We'll have to pick up the number, but it's a 42-yard touchdown run, regardless of who had the football, and a new back into the ball game, and on his first carry, he goes all the way.
And that's causing some of the Marquette faithful to...
But there's a flag on the play. And let's see what the flag's all about. A personal foul against the Trojans will cost... offsetting penalties. But now if they're before the play, it will bring the play back as if it never happened. If they're after the play, it will have no effect on the touchdown. So let's see what that's all about. I think it was 26 on the carry for the touchdown. But now we watch the officials because this is going to be very, very big, and they're going to call this back. No touchdown, no play, offsetting penalties, personal fouls against both teams. And it came during the play as opposed to after the play. They will be offsetting penalties. No yardage will be walked off, but the play will be wiped out. So it's 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Marquette 42-yard line, and the touchdown comes back. So Marquette is still alive in this game.
Still alive, but now they have to stop them. If they being Auburn, if they drive on down the field and eat up that clock, then Marquette will have hardly any time in which to come back. So Marquette really needs a turnover right now. Auburn, of course, we don't expect to see them put it up in the air. They're going to keep it on the ground, keep on running, keep on giving it the big old number 10, let him run the ball.
First and 10 Trojans at the Marquette 42. Same play. Here's the give. That's Ryan Gardner on the carry, breaking tackles, and he takes it all the way down to the Marquette 35-yard line. And that's just not going to get it done. Marquette has got to make those tackles at the point of attack. That was Ryan Howard on the carry that time. And Howard picked up 7. So it's second down and 3 for the Trojans at the Marquette 35-yard line. Why the Trojans are going with the no huddle with 6:50 and counting remaining in the game, I don't know. Wouldn't you think you'd want to eat up as much clock as you could?
I would absolutely think you'd want to eat up the clock, and now they call a timeout.
Timeout on the field, 6:49 remaining fourth quarter. The score
29-19 actually.
RiverBend. Altonized Community Federal Credit Union has been dedicated to offering personalized, reliable service to meet the diversified financial need of each member since 1939. And on average, credit unions provide the best financial offerings with fewer fees, lower rates on loans, and higher rates on savings. Stop in today and learn about all the benefits of being a member of Altonized Community Federal Credit Union. And with only months left until Christmas, be sure to ask about their holiday loan special.
It begins with a dream. It takes a steady hand and teamwork, and it ends in a dream come true. At Ralph J. Pasley Custom Homes, we custom design and build your home exactly the way you envision it. Whether you own your lot or you want to locate in one of our growing subdivisions, we'll build your home wherever your dream takes you. Call Ralph G. Pasley Custom Homes today at 800-377-3350, working together to build one dream at a time.
The Trojans.
You know, Sam, I haven't seen big number 10 out there. Dan Berger, he's not been out there.
He
or Dan Bacher, whatever
Dan
his name
Bacher,
is.
he's not been out there on this possession.
And as big as he is, you would think they'd be giving the ball to him, so there must be something wrong with him.
First and 10 Trojans at the Marquette 30-yard line. Marquette's last chance right here. They can't allow two. Oh, there's a hit and a tackle, and that's Larry Newquist, I think.
No, that was a big Mitch Woolner that came in and leveled him. That was a very nice play by Mitch. We need to see about 2 more of those right now because it's going to be, well, it's only second now. We need 3 more of those right now.
Ryan Gardner on the carry, and he lost 2 yards on that play as Mitch Woolner came in and just buried him. And now Auburn taking a little bit more time between plays. I think Auburn has burned all 3 of their timeouts here in the second half. Down to 5:55 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. Second and 12 Trojans at the Marquette 32-yard line. Here's the give on a crossing counter, and a flag is thrown, and that's going to cost the Trojans on that play. As it was Gardner on the carry, he got back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 2. But the 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul, and the holding was deep in the backfield, is going to really push Auburn back and give Marquette a chance to try to rally in this game.
Well, Auburn is sure doing everything wrong that they can on this drive. They're sure trying to help Marquette.
So a 10-yard walk-off against the Trojans. That's their ninth penalty of the night for 55 yards. And you can anticipate right now that no matter how this game turns out, Auburn's going to be unhappy with the number of penalties they got in this game. Second down for the Trojans at the Marquette 48-yard line. They have to get to the 21, so that's second and 27 for the Trojans. And Bates drops the throw, lets it go over the middle, and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Joey Johnson.
And I'll
tell you what, they're playing into Marquette's hands, aren't they?
I was going to say,
stops the clock.
Beautiful pass, and this kid Johnson coming right across the middle, hit him right in the hands. Had he caught that, he was at full speed, and we may not have caught him.
But instead, they dropped the football, and that stops the clock. And if anything, the Trojans need to keep the clock running here. I think with the running game they've shown, you just keep running it.
Just keep
and
on
then
running
punt it deep.
Punt it, exactly.
Yeah. But now Bates in the shotgun on 3rd and 27, and he drops to throw. Lets it go over the middle. Oh, it's caught. It's caught by Bushnell, but he's tackled by Derek Dahm. And I'll tell you what, Angelo Cross was within a whisker of intercepting that football, and if he had, he might have been gone.
He very well could have been, yeah. He made a very, well, it turned out to not be a great play, but boy, it sure looked nice. It developed very nicely up here, but he just missed it, and then again the kid caught it, so it turned out to not be a great play by Angelo, but it was a fraction of an inch away from being a great play.
A 10-yard pickup on that play by Auburn, but now they face 4th and 18 at the Marquette 37-yard line, and to keep the offense on the field.
Right.
Why don't you punt here and pin the Explorers back?
Exactly.
Bates takes the snap and drops to throw. Sets up, lets it go out to the right. He's got Johnson. He's got a first down and then some. I guess that's why.
I guess they're a lot smarter than us, Sam.
They took it down to the 10, a pickup of 27 yards and a first down, and that just about seals the game there.
Yeah, that sure hurts a lot. I mean, they're down to what, the 10-yard, 5-yard, about the 11-yard line it looks like.
1st and 10 at the Marquette 11. Their 16th first down of the night, so they wiggled out of a 2nd and 28.
Well, and I tell you, if Auburn puts the ball up in the air again, then they're just trying to throw this ball game away. Keep the ball on the ground right now. Keep that clock running, and Marquette won't catch you.
Power I formation, and here's the give to Howard from the fullback position. Howard still on his feet down to the Marquette 5. I'll tell you what, Auburn has worn Marquette down.
Yeah.
And, of course, they've got probably twice as many players dressed as Marquette does.
Well, and not just
and they don't have as many two-way performers.
Right, but what you're seeing right now is a Marquette team that's not just been worn down physically, but mentally. You know, they gave up 17 straight points in the second half. They fell behind by 10, and now they see the clock ticking away on their season, and they've got their heads hanging.
Well, maybe the biggest play in this game was the Explorer turnover after Auburn had tied the score early in the third quarter. Now here is the give, and that's Howard on the carry, and he's thrown for a loss on that play. But precious time continues to tick off the clock.
Right.
That was Gardner on the carry that time, and he lost about 3 yards.
Yeah, you're right about that big play, that turnover. Auburn scores, they tie the score up, they kick off to us. Our kickoff return man has a knee down on the 10, and so we start on the 10. Very first play, we fumble, and Auburn takes it in a couple plays later, and it's been all Auburn ever since.
So 3rd and 7 for the Trojans. Bates from the shotgun throws it into the end zone, and a jump ball at the end line, incomplete. Zach Keenan on the coverage there. And it brings about 4th down, but that stops the clock.
That stops the clock. Why are they throwing the ball?
3:03 remaining.
Thank goodness that they are, and I hope they keep on doing that kind of silly stuff. But all they got to do is keep the ball on the clock to keep that run, keep the ball on the ground to keep that clock running, or at least make Marquette use up their timeouts. I'm not sure how many timeouts Marquette has left, Sam. Do you know?
I believe they have 2 remaining. I know they've used at least one. Bates, 15 for 26 for 237 yards and a touchdown. And now on 4th and 7 at the Marquette 10, they send the offense back out onto the field.
Yeah, I thought they were going to. Yeah.
And Bates in the shotgun takes the snap.
Again.
Rolls to his left. Looking. Now he unloads it, incomplete, and that stops the clock with 2:57 remaining. So the Explorers take over on downs at their own 10-yard line. They need 10 points in the next 2:57, but that's not impossible.
No, it's not.
It takes a big play and an onside kick. And
I saw a Boston College team last night look terrible the whole game up until the last 2 minutes. They were down 10-0 with 2 minutes left, and they came back and won that game. So it can happen. But I tell you what, those last 2 plays by Auburn, they were 2 of the goofiest or silliest plays I've ever seen. Keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running. Marquette's got a long way to go, but this clock should be down into the 1 minute, 1 minute something left.
Vest under center drops the throw, lets it go out to the right side, incomplete, intended for Drew Schwartz, and Vest just can't throw the football.
No.
He threw that with all he had, and it was a wounded duck, and Schwartz had run it out to about the 25-yard line. He came sprinting back to about the 18-yard line, trying to make a diving catch of that grossly underthrown ball. It's no fault of Max Vest. He just can't throw it. But you talk about the questionable calls, and I agree with you. The calls by Coach Dave Bates, questionable there. But he's a 22-year veteran who's made the playoffs for the 11th straight year this year. So,
well, and on that fourth down play, Sam, earlier in the drive, we both questioned what he was doing, and my God, he got the first down. So
now Vest rolling to his right, looking downfield. Now a takeoff and run with it, and spun out of bounds out at the 18-yard line for a gain of 8, and it's going to bring about 3rd and 2. A gain of 9 out to the 19, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 for the Explorers right there. And the clock stopped with 2:43 remaining. So,
well, here's where Coach Reinhardt has to pull something out of the hat. I mean, some kind of rabbit out of the hat, because with 2:43 left, and Marquette on their own 18, we've got to score very quick and get the ball back.
Well, you just got to get the first down here, and that's what they do. They give it to Utley, and he does have the first down out to the 22-yard line, a gain of 4 for Utley on that carry. And they will stop the clock to move the sticks, and Marquette will quickly come back to the line of scrimmage. But the biggest problem here is that Vest just can't throw the football. Now Marquette not that quick about getting up to the line. And the clock continues to roll with 2.5 minutes remaining. Marquette trailing by 10. Receivers left and right. Vest in the shotgun. They run the option to the left side, and he slips down back to the 20-yard line. A loss of 2 on that play.
No, and they're not going to get it done right now on the ground. They've got to go up in the air, so they've got to bring Andre Embry back in. And, yeah, there he goes right now. And they've got to let him, just do the best he can.
Throw it downfield and hope for something.
Hey, you might get a completion, you might get a pass interference.
It's been raining throughout the entirety of the fourth quarter. The field getting very, very wet, very, very slick. Now Embry takes a pitch from Vest, and he'll throw the football. And he lets it go down the right sideline and throws it out of bounds. There's a flag on the play.
I think it was motion on Marquette, Sam.
It is illegal motion against the Explorers. And if I was Auburn, I'd decline this and force them into 3rd and 13. But let's see what Auburn decides to do. The clock stopped with 1:45 remaining. Well, unless the Explorers pull a miracle here, their season's going to end at 6-4. The penalty is declined, and so it is 3rd and 13 for the Explorers from their own 20-yard line. And now they will set Embry up in the shotgun. And I think you want him throwing from a set position and not on the run like he was there. Now Marquette had 12 men on the field, 12 in the huddle. And so they will get a 5-yard penalty here, but it's still going to be 3rd down. So they keep Max Vest in the ball game. They'll use him as a wide receiver.
Right,
he's one of the better athletes on the field.
He's a very good athlete. Got good hands. He runs well.
And Embry will set up in the shotgun. Now 3rd and 18 for the Explorers from their own 15-yard line. 1:44 remaining. Marquette trailing by 10. Embry drops the throw, lets it go. Incomplete, intended for Drew Schwartz on a slant. And
the season comes down to one play here, Sam.
But actually, I think the season came down to that fumble deep in Marquette territory after Auburn had tied the score. And that gave the Trojans a short field. Twice Marquette gave the Trojans a short field. Both times they converted. 2 other times the Trojans were deep in Marquette territory there in the first half, and the Marquette defense held. So here is the 4th down play, 4th and 18. Embry sets up, lets it go deep down the middle. Oh, it's dropped by Cecil Brimage. He had the ball in stride at the 45-yard line, and he dropped it. If he hadn't, he might have gone for a touchdown.
I think he had a touchdown there. I mean, that ball hit him right in that number 9. And he was going full speed. I mean, God bless him. He feels terrible right now. Coach Reinhardt's shaking his hand, trying to make him feel better and stuff. But I think he had a touchdown there.
Well, Sam. And that might be a a vision of the future, because that was a sophomore quarterback to a sophomore wide receiver. And boy, he hit him right in stride at the 45-yard line. And I do believe he would have been gone for an 85-yard touchdown and pulled Marquette to within perhaps a field goal of tying this game, and that would have been interesting. But now it's going to be a knee taken by Auburn, and Marquette will use a timeout. Or no, Auburn will take a timeout. Well, they took a knee and then they called a timeout.
Oh, no, okay.
Marquette.
The referee
Marquette
was
called
confused,
the timeout.
yeah.
And that may just force Auburn to come out and throw the football again.
Well, I really, at this point, with a minute and a half left, I don't see the point in even taking that timeout. But, you know, you never give up till the very end.
Well, who knows? With the wet field, they could fumble
Stranger
the next
things
snap,
have happened, I
you can
guess.
pick it up and run it back. So I guess as long as you got the weapon, you go ahead and use it and hope against hope for something amazing. But
well, that timeout doesn't carry over to next year, so you might as well, I guess, use them up.
So Auburn scored the first 12 points of the ball game. Scored those in less than 3 minutes to start the game. Marquette rallied and scored the next 19 to lead 19-12 at the half, but 17 unanswered points by Auburn here in the second half. Now Auburn does run the football. Ryan Howard takes it down to the Marquette 9-yard line, and the Explorers use their final timeout. And Auburn will face a 3rd and 4 at the Marquette 9-yard line. So,
yeah, at this point, well, I'm not about to sit up here and guess what Coach Bates at Auburn's going to do, because every time I've guessed wrong.
He certainly should not throw the football here, because if he runs the football, you know, it's going to take it down inside a minute. And then, you know, if the Explorers were to stop him on 4th down, Marquette's going to have less than a minute, needing 2 scores to win the football game. So, but if you throw the ball here and throw an incomplete pass, then you just give Marquette more hope. Power I formation on 3rd and 4 at the Marquette 9, and here's the give to Gardner. And Gardner on his feet down to near the 5-yard line. He's going to be shy of a 1st down. And Marquette, now they use their final timeout, and it's 4th and 1 Auburn at the Marquette 5. So Marquette doing everything it can to try to get its hands back on the football. And if Auburn can pick up a yard, then they can take a couple of knees and this game will be over. You do wonder about Dambacher. He has not played much at all in the last half of the 4th quarter. Hasn't played at all. I shouldn't say much at all.
No, he has
hasn't
not
played at all, and he's their leading ball carrier.
Well, I've been scanning their sidelines trying to find him, and I can't find him.
Power I formation on 4th and 1, and that's the Explorers stop it. So Marquette gets the ball back here at about the 9 or 10-yard line with a minute 14 remaining. And hey, let's try another Andre Embry to Cecil Brimage and see if this time Cecil can catch it. So the Explorer defense did hold, and Marquette used its 3 timeouts there. Marquette needs a long strike, and then an onside kick, and then a field goal.
I think what Marquette needs right now is the prayers of every Catholic in the Alton, Godfrey, or Riverbend area right now.
Well, they've got mine. How about yours?
I'm praying up here, yeah.
So Andre Embry in the shotgun, standing at his own goal line, drops to throw. Throws it out to the right side and throws it high for his intended receiver. Now a flag is thrown after the play. Drew Schwartz, the intended receiver. They sent Brimage on a post pattern and then tried to bring Schwartz in underneath. And Embry, boy, he's got a gun, doesn't he?
He's got
an arm.
Yeah, he's got a gun. Unfortunately, right now, in throwing to both Schwartz and to Brimage, those kids are only about 5'6", 5'7". So he's got to get that ball down low for them.
So I don't know what the penalty was. They picked the flag up. They put the ball back down at the line of scrimmage, and now the officials are trying to figure out what's going on there. And now Embry coming over to the sideline to talk to head coach Rick Reinhardt, saying, "What do you want to do here, coach?" Well, actually, Embry checks out. Embry out of the ball game, and that penalty against Marquette is declined. And so now it's 2nd and 10 for the Explorers from the 9. And now Max Vest.
I think Max probably talked his way back into the game. Told Coach, let me go back in there and
Vest will run the quarterback draw. Up the middle he goes, and now he fumbles the football. But the Explorers recover out at the 17-yard line, a gain of 8 on that carry by Vest. And yeah, it could be that it's Coach Reinhardt. Well, no, now they bring Embry back into the ball game. So it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Explorers. But precious time ticking off the clock down to 39 seconds and counting. Vest checks out. On the 3rd down play, Embry drops to throw, sets, lets it go over the middle, incomplete. And that brings about a 4th and 1 for the Explorers with 29 seconds remaining. And I'll tell you what, it's just pouring down rain here.
Yeah, and you could tell by the way Andre threw the ball that time that's an awful wet ball right now.
So Marquette will finish at 6-4. Auburn will improve to 7-3. Auburn will move on to the 2nd round and play the winner of the Toledo-Casey Westfield game. That game to be played at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon up in Casey. Now Embry in the shotgun on 4th and 1 from the 13, and he lets it go down the middle and overthrows everybody, and Auburn will take a knee on the final play of the game, and this one will be over. So a game of spurts here. A big hug being given by one of the assistant coaches to Corey Marin here on the near sideline. Marin, of course, a varsity soccer player and the kicker here, but he's taking this loss hard, as will all the Explorers. But hey, 6-3 in the regular season and a home playoff game, and Marquette played valiantly here tonight. But the season will end, and the toughest for the seniors, of course.
It's always tough for the seniors, and unless you win your last game and don't go to the playoffs, or unless you win state, it's just not in the cards for you to win your last game. Tonight and tomorrow, half the teams in the state are going to lose, and unfortunately, Marquette was one of them.
Auburn takes a knee. The final 10 seconds tick off the clock, and the Trojans will take home a victory, 29-19. Over the Explorers as Marquette's season comes to a close here on their home field on a rainy Friday night at Public School Stadium. Auburn 29, Marquette 19. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports. Rolling Hills Golf Course, the friendliest golf course in the Riverbend area, has been providing an enjoyable golf experience and exceptional value for thousands of golfers every year. Rolling Hills offers a 27-hole golf facility, state-of-the-art driving range, and a clubhouse designed for tournament use. Bring out a few friends or have your next business meeting where you can enjoy a light lunch with cocktails and free Wi-Fi. Be good to yourself in your game. Come out and visit Rolling Hills Golf Course or see us online at rollinghillsgc.com.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just one monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Altonized Community
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game brought to you by Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance. Johnson's Corner, the most popular corner in Alton. Premier Title, professional service with a personal touch. Chuck West Agency, serving your insurance needs for 47 years. Rolling Hills, the friendliest golf course in the Riverbend. Roberts Motors in Alton and Wood River. Midwest Motorsports, your fun headquarters in Hartford. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. Century 21 Seneca Edwards, big or small, we sell them all. Altonized Community Credit Union, offering lower rates on loans and higher rates on savings.